Welcome back, everybody, to the Pit of Valor Invitational. My name is Dak alongside Anton as we bring you our semifinals matchup between Artisan and the Bash Bros. This has already been an absolutely fantastic tournament so far. And my man, I'm ready to get into some more matches. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. I've been keeping an eye on the games actually, and these have been pretty decent. I'm surprised at how breezy that some of these teams have had their journey so far to this point of the semifinals. Because
Right.
I mean, even if you guys know, I mean, you guys probably should know that's why you're here on a Saturday instead of a Wednesday. But this is the Pit of Valor Invitational. That means that all these teams have won Pit of Valors before, or
Yep.
basically just in grand finals forever, the whole entire time. And then this is our last best of one. We're gonna have a best of three coming up right after this match between Artisan and Bash Bros. But Bash Bros, of course, if you guys don't recognize the name, you probably weren't here last Wednesday or this Wednesday because they actually won on Wednesday, like 3 days ago. So these guys are coming hot off the win of the actual Pit of Valor. They're coming in now against Artisan, who've had a pretty solid track record so far in this tournament. They had a bye round one because most of the teams ended up having. But then both the maps they played were 13-6. They 13-6 SYR. They just 13-6 Aspire on stream. And now they're against the winners of, again, Pit of Valor number 87. Bros have not had such an easy task coming along. They've had two Haven games. They're 13-5 and 13-10.
Hmm.
And Artisan have had an Icebox and a Haven. And the interesting part about the map bans, if we can get into that as well, is Artisan have played an Icebox. Bash Bros have not this week, but it's actually them to pick the Icebox against Artisan. Of course, I don't think that they probably had the time to go back in the match results of these teams, but whatever the case, yeah, Artisan have had they're just sitting pretty. Like they're fine. I think honestly, given the performance so far, especially how Demon looked in the last map on Haven, good God, that guy had a 3 KD, just raw kill death, like not even assists. He was landing some miraculous shots, Dak. I don't even know how to explain some of the stuff that I saw.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to see what these two teams bring out here. Demon, obviously, a standout player. Yeah, Bash Bros, I feel like, we haven't seen them on broadcast, so we're not entirely sure how they're doing momentum-wise, but I have to imagine that being the most recent Pit of Valor champion certainly means something to them, and certainly going to be looking to not only get 2 wins in a row, but also get the Invitational. And it looks like we're about to be jumping into Agent Select pretty soon here, but I'm excited to see because I mentioned, or I believe you mentioned that we are going to Icebox here. So any
Mhm.
expectations knowing what the map is and has in store for us?
So I think honestly we're almost going to see a mirror matchup. I know Artisan they actually run a KO rather than Bash Bros' Chamber, but everything else should be
Mhm.
pretty standard. We're gonna have Jets, Sovas across the board, even after the nerf. Jets still pretty good. Viper Sage because that's just what you run on this map. And then once again, Artisan do run the double initiator. They run the Sova and the KO at the same time. So I guess fair enough. You have the post nerf Sova, post nerf Jets. So it's kind of like both these teams have opposite compensation for the agents that got nerfed. Sova got hit, so Artisan bring a KO. Bash Bros Jet got hit, so they bring a Chamber. And on Wednesday, they actually played with a different player. I think today we have Zero Cap in place of it was Coco on Wednesday, and Coco was playing absolutely out of his mind. Zero Cap has not been doing that bad. One of the maps, I think it was their first Haven, the 13-5 against Humber. He didn't actually need to do very much. The guy had like single digit kills, but he also had single digit deaths because the rest of his team was just doing everything. But now we're going to see him back on the Chambers. So this is really going to be the test to see whether or not he can face off against Demon, who is now on the Jets, no longer on the Chamber.
Mhm.
So the first map that they played on Icebox, he didn't pull out the 3 KD. Like that didn't happen. I don't know if that's the agent diff, I don't know if that's the team diff, or maybe he just doesn't enjoy the map very much. Whatever the case, he did not have 30 kills. So I have some more faith in Bash Bros because of that. I guess there's a reason why they didn't take him to Haven, but nevertheless, yeah, this is going to be the challenge for Bash Bros to see whether or not they're duelists and they're pseudo duelists in the form of Chamber. It's really such a mix up what these agents even are at this point, but you get the idea, like whether they can actually match up against Demon's Jets, because I mean this guy's he's coming in hot.
What are you thinking about just a single chamber here in this? Because I feel like on Icebox we see chamber pretty often. The chamber
Mhm.
jet happens almost every time I've seen this map on Pit of Valor. So interesting that we're only getting the chamber from Zero Cap. What do you think? Do you
Mhm.
think that maybe Artisan might be out of sorts here, not going for the jet chamber instead of going for the KO? What do you think the difference here is going to make for these two teams?
It's kind of you see the KO and you're like, They're going for some util shutdown, of course. That's his entire job. They're just not allowing the Viper walls to go up. They're not allowing, I mean, the Sage wall goes up instantly, so they can't really stop that with a knife or anything like that. But they're just going to go straight under two. Actually, this round is kind of fast. This is the thing that KO is supposed to stop, but KO was not in the right spot to do that this round. So they're going to let a lot of control happen towards that B. A lot of rotates, though. And that's exactly what Artisan, or excuse me, that's exactly what Bash Bros wanted. They provided a lot of attention towards that mid, towards that B split, and the KO has to go there because that's where you have to stop the util. But then everyone just cancels, rotates back towards this A, and it's 5 versus 5, but they've gotten the plant down for free.
Yeah, now Artisan has to filter back up onto the site. They're mostly entering from back. And this is going to give an opportunity for Bash Bros to create some space and hold some angles, but the ice wall will go up, and here goes the defuse. Should be able to get half down. They get to put some pressure on because it's continuing to go down. There's two, and actually it quickly gets diffused. That wall is just too much to take care of, and Artisan will also get cleaned up, but it doesn't matter. They get the spike defused, and they will take that first round after a really sneaky, quick defusal off that ice wall plant.
Yeah, it's such a difficult thing. That's why Sage is so strong on this map as well. Cause like, if you don't bring a Sage, that is not an option that you have at your disposal. You can't just wall and go for a free defuse. It's so difficult to deal with that kind of thing because, like, technically with the wall going up, your Viper mollies could miss, the shock darts could miss. You can see that these guys just couldn't. There's nothing they could do. Shaka couldn't do anything. Grandson couldn't even do anything. So yeah, it's you see it so often on pistol rounds, especially. Like when you have guns, it's less of an issue. But when you don't have the high caliber weapons, there's nothing you can do. It's a Sage wall. It's just, it's sad to see, but Artisan, they know the plan, they know exactly what works, and they make it happen.
Now we have a bit more of a holding for our Bash Bros attackers here. It looks like they're going to be moseying on their way towards B site here. 3 agents already hanging out with the spike, and they'll have a 3-on-2 advantage if they do want to push this here. They can have a switch up from their Sage who's sitting in tube towards mid, but otherwise things are favored towards B. You can see even Artisan is kind of holding things pretty much off A site, so that does give them an opportunity to quickly transition if they need to. Swagcon goes down quickly. That Marshall will take him out thanks to Demon. There's another one comes down by Regulator, sorry. And now it's a 5-on-3 situation here. The spike is still far from going down, but it looks like it's going to be deathmatch style here for Bash Bros, as Artisan has already taken them out 5-3. And it's going to be a bit of an issue here, as they're going to have to back up a little bit. Aika finds Zokyuki, and now a 5-on-2 situation to make this super difficult for Bash Bros to even get this spike down at all. Just looking to get some residual damage down, and it doesn't even happen. That's 3 in a row for Aika, and a flawless round for Team Artisan.
Oh. Showing off there a little at the end. Yeah, Artisan, I mean, they don't lose a single player. Fair enough, Bash Bros didn't go for a buy. I think the Turtle Force, or excuse me, the Headhunter could have done something, but it's just, that's difficult. Like, everyone loses running, gunning. So Artisan, they keep it clean. They only lose players pretty much in a single round, and it's just funny to see because everyone's got a death on the side of Artisan, but they haven't lost a round, and they didn't even lose a player last one. So it's just like everyone died round 1, but it still doesn't matter. But the thing is, the damage they've been doing, and Bash Bros going for a couple of light buys, makes that they actually don't have full armor. Two of the players have half. So it's gonna be curious to see whether the Spectres can actually do anything against those specific players. But it's going to be an A look right now. 2 people here, first line of defense, but Suyuki should have a really good angle to take someone out. Yeah, that drone is good enough to remove one, and he should have an angle in the second as well. And yeah, everything's just fine. The defense is technically here, but they're not fast enough to be able to stop this plants.
Cloudburst going to come out, trying to give some coverage here. Suyuki's going to jump back up onto the second floor, gets caught out. And Artisan, again, we're able to take this very swiftly on a site here. I mean, we've seen how comfortable they are on the retakes. They have no problem getting right back on and finding. I mean, of course, as you said, the Bash Bros didn't have a full buy. That certainly played into their advantage, but they were able to isolate that hero rifle, take out everyone surrounding them, and then get rid of that jet after they try to dodge away. So Artisan not only taking that around, they keep 3 agents alive, and now they have a 3-0 lead here in the first half.
Yeah, man, that's I mean, that's one of the strengths of the KO, right? You mentioned earlier, like, what's the difference? That could be one of the differences when you toss a molly on the plant spot. You might not be able to challenge it with a gun, but sometimes it doesn't like that's not the most relevant thing because you have Hoon. He just tosses a molly, and instead of maybe like taking a risk and going for a gunfight like a chamber would have to, he wouldn't really be doing that, but you get the idea. He just tosses a molly and does damage to two different people with no risk, and that's so
Scanning
beautiful for
ahead.
him. And Artisan, they take the bonus, and Bash Bros they're struggling. They have one single marshal this round, a bunch of classics. Demon's in even the really heads up angle right now, and he's able to spot out one. He's in a bit of a precarious spot, but yeah,
Oh,
he's just fine against a bunch of pistols. What more can they do?
yeah, really not much. I mean, they've got a couple sheriffs, I believe, still in their pocket. SwagCon, though, going to start to get aggressive. Has to be careful as they swing around this corner here, and Hoon will take them down pretty quickly. Demon also keeping a heads-up play here in mid, looking for any transitions. Zero Cap, who also just has a pistol to their name, is way ahead or way behind the action here. Shaka goes down. Here comes another Marshall push. The no scope, very far off from Dregulator. And it is a 5-on-1 situation. Once again, the chamber by themselves, Zero Cap. Looking to get one kill so they can at least have the tour de force for the next round, and they do get it. Aside from that, that's really not much else you can do. Maybe try to get the spike down just for a little extra cash. Otherwise, it is between a rock and a hard place here for Zero Cap, as they're going to try to peek a little bit, get some damage done, but they're going to be forced into taking multiple angles here, and certainly Hoon will come out on top pretty quickly with that Vandal, and they sure do. There's now 4 in a row here. Certainly a hard ask for Bash Bros, as you said. They had classics, they had a single Marshal, they had full armor and half armor. No consistency there on their buys. So really Bash Bros looking for an opportunity here to try to strike some damage into the heart of Artisan after getting some more rifles into their hands, some full armor. We'll see what they can do, as Zero Cap is not going to buy, obviously, to pop that tour de force immediately. So this would be Bash Bros pretty much their first strongest round here, and it's come 4 rounds late, but better late than never.
You want to
Yeah, for
play?
sure. And
Let's
it looks
play.
like the unfortunate thing is that Tour de Force, and we'll see what he can actually get done. It's going to be top belt right now, but he's looking into a Viper's pits. It is unfortunate. I don't think anyone's going to be challenging too far from Artisan. No one's going to overextend. They're just going to be very content in this pit because there's not really that much retail info. This is the Sova, but that's all he really got. The fight against this Viper and Regulators. He's just going to sit here. He's going to sit here forever. Surprising he's even trying to take the headshot angle, but he's the one that has to hold it down. Because Shragcon's got a pick across the map, which is good.
Yeah.
That's a player that tried to flank. Okay, I say not overextending, but I guess they wanted to try for something because they're 4-0 up. Fair enough. The Jet's still in the garage, getting 2, and he's doing demon things. He's stuck here right now, but he's technically got an ability to get out, but Zero Cap is able to finally shut him down with that tour de force, and with that, they've actually got a lot of options here, Bash Bros. There's only 2 left alive. They spotted out 1 already, so they know the A site's max 1 player. In fact, it is no one on here, so the Sova's going to be first line to rotate, but it's going to be him against 3.
Yeah, this is a pretty difficult ask here for Ica, who is on the other side of the planet regarding this map, is still running all the way through the beat to get in here, and as they're doing so, Zero Cap finds rhythm, so it's a 3-on-1 situation. Bash Bros looking on to grab their first round here and potentially might be able to take out Ica. If Ica can get this 1 kill, they'll have that res for the next round. We'll certainly be happy to get that, but it's a big ask here. With 3 angles, they're going to have to look down here. Ica going to be pushing this through, but Bash Bros, they definitely getting a lot done. They got that KO kill pretty early, so they knew they'd have a little more flexibility in terms of using utility to get onto a site. They had a couple, I mean, really came down to those individual picks before the push really happened. The site kind of opened itself up as a result. And with that, Grandson finds Ica. Not going to be able to get that quickly or anything done. But it will be a first round here for Bash Bros. Finally, getting on the board here. Certainly happy about that because that was a pretty critical round considering their investments.
Yeah, good luck. And problem for them, Artisan do still have money. They've won so many runs in a row that they're not going to have a single issue with the buys. They're going to have Hoon buy up Regulator for support rifles and still an operator in Damon's hands. So this is getting scary. He was doing a lot with just the Headhunter last map. He didn't even need a gun, but now he's got probably the biggest gun in the game other than the Tour de Force that's in Zero Cap's hands last round. But we'll see. There's no sniper for the attack this round because there is no Tour de Force, but it's going to be another A look again. They have a single lurk towards this B, which is going to be Zero Cap, but they're not going to push up again from Artisan. This is not going to happen. They made the mistake. They understand that it was a mistake they made so far in the open with no cover. The guy is obviously going to die, but they're not They're a good enough team to just say we're just not going to do that again. Let's just solve the problem right there, and then nip the issue where it starts. And Bash Bros are the ones that have to try and make their way in.
Oh, Regulator essentially anticipating a jet jump there. Neither player gets ahead of themselves. And Regulator going to look for another angle to take here on back sight. It looks like, meanwhile, Team Artisan are completely moving back here. I'm sorry, Bash Bros completely moving back here. Team Artisan
Sage.
have a couple players. And the Sage mid, Ika's
Ooh.
going to find zero cap real quick. The nice aggressive hold there has been held the entire round. So Team Artisan will capitalize on there. There goes the chamber.
You
It's
will
going to be
not
difficult for
kill
Bash
my
Bros
allies.
until they get that res down. Swagcon finds zero
30
cap.
seconds left.
Zoyuki also getting rid of Demon. The Regulator is still lingering back A site, but the party is elsewhere. The action has moved over towards B site as we got a big rush coming in towards yellow here. The spike wants to go down soon. Ica finds Demon with the res. Now we're both evened up on either side, 5-5. It's like those kills didn't even happen. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, and Hoon just on the outset of that doesn't even get clipped. They're one away from their ult as well. The spike will go down. Regulator now finds themselves looking to re-enter here on the other side of the Sage wall. They're going to do so, but there's a lot of Viper clouds in the way. Ica now going around yellow. Looking to get first contact. Swagcon fights Regular, but Akon and Rhythm getting on the board. Swagcon for 3. Demon finds the op kill on Swagcon, but is it too little too late as this spike is to continue to tick down here. Ica for another one. That's 3. That's 4.
Oh.
And just like that, the aggressive battle stage pays off here for Team Artisan. A huge, huge play there. And off that initial pick in mid, remember it was Ica who got that initial kill, took that aggressive stance on mid, and from there, everything started to roll down the mountain there. Team Artisan picks up a round 5-1.
Man, Ica, it might have taken him a while to wake up as well, but I mean, he puts himself from, I think, 3-2 on the scoreboard to 7-2 in a single round, and that might not seem like a lot, but once again, I think this is the turning point for them, because in the first time these guys played Icebox, it wasn't Demon top fragging, right? I mentioned before, he did not have a 3 KD that one. He actually didn't do that well at all. He was 18 and 16, so it was pretty even, but it was Ica to be the one to show up. He was 25 and 10. That is what you want to see, and that being the wake-up points that Ica has with that quad kill to get that retake done. Good God. And there's already a pick happening in this round as well. It is indomitable from them. They're not slowing down. They're like, Bash Bros can't find a way in.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. They lost their Sage early, so they're not going to have that wall opportunity to, get themselves a safe spike plant to try to cut off B in any manner whatsoever. So now Bash Bros going to have to figure out how to do something else. They do have somewhat of B open. They could take a 4-on-2 if they want here, because there are 2 members of Artisan already pushing all the way up B, but then they have to, kind of keep their heads on a swivel here as the flank is going to come through, and they have now 3 members kind of pushing in towards mid. Here comes the rotation. The Chaos going to join them. So Yuki has popped the Blade Storm and is looking for some opportunities here. But so far, nothing given. Another off shot going to go through. Ica finds Oyuki, though. The Blade Storm gets cut down early. Zero cap trades for 2. Demon and Ica both go down. Now it's a 3-on-3 situation. All of a sudden, Bash Bros, their odds starting to swing back in their favor here. Shaka looks like they're going to move in, fake at least a little bit of this spike plant, and that does bait out the Fury, but the Hunter's Fury will get the best of them. Rhythm will get that big kill with about 10 seconds left on the clock here. Just now, the spike will go down. This 2-on-2.
I didn't really know where Grandson is, and this guy's not got on Connor Hunter's Fury to make anything happen from all the way towards long. So Zero Cap is in a bit of a pickle because he has no teleport anymore. He needs to just win a fight, and they angle him. That is such a good push from Hoon. Getting that, like, he's farther from the angle, so we can see the shoulder of this guy in the corner before his opponent can see him. That's absolutely beautiful, and they play the double peek as well, ready for the opposite swing because they know where this guy yellow is. Or I say yellow, sorry, green, because all the way at long B. So very nice stuff from Artisan, just playing the fundamentals flawlessly. That's 6 rounds now for Artisan. They've already guaranteed at a minimum a tied half. And given the way the money's going this round, I feel like they're going to end up winning it.
Yeah, I don't even think Bash Bros is going to try to throw the hero rifle. That's probably just a waste of money at this point. They're just going to go with the Marshall and Zoyuki, which I think they had a little bit of a better track record here. No, instead, actually, it's going to be Swagcon who's going with the Spectre. So, yeah, we have 3 Sheriffs. We've got a Classic, full and half armor across the board. No consistency there. And yeah, Bash Bros just doing what they can to at least try to do some kind of economic damage to Team Artisan. But Ica, who's been wow, that was an odd little bit of a delay there, keeps themselves in the line of fire to get killed with the follow-up. But Hoon did find Zero Cap, so it's a 4-on-3 situation. But Ica has been getting a lot done with this aggressive mid push. Shaka, she's finding some heads here. Rhythm goes down. And that's a big pickup. Looks like they might be able to take care of Dragulator, but no! A big swing there. And then Dragulator will be able to get 2! No way! The right clicks on Grandson. That's wild. That's a 7-1 here. Yeah, you definitely called it. Artisan picks up another round. Probably not too much of a surprise that Bash Bros wasn't able to do that much damage to the Artisan economy.
Wow, that's yeah, it's a clean one so far. I wonder if the death and tunnel or the tube was actually flying. That's thinking way too deep into it. But Ica, he's at 7 out of 8 res points right now. So maybe the wall, the timing of the wall, he sees a guy and he's like, okay, you guys are not gonna come up tube, but I'm gonna purposefully die. So now I'm 1 off res. I don't know.
You want to
That's,
play?
again, that's
Let's
thinking too deep
play.
into it. But whatever the case, he is 1 off right now. So Artisan are sitting so pretty. Other than that, SquadCon with a really good entry, and they're actually going fast. This is a replica of round number 1, where they go fast beat, but this time they're actually committing. Thing is, Ika's here. Now this, wait, the plant, he's the only one here. There's no way, he actually gets it down and survives, and gets another pick off of that. Shaka, she's done some work as well, and even from mid gets another kill. Zero Cap with a second one as well, and Hoon is now 1 versus 4. I don't know about this one, 30 HP, he's 1 shot to death.
This is, I mean, this is going to take 3 wishes and maybe a whole genie here for Artisan to somehow come out on top of this 1v3. The 30 HP, I don't know if that's going to be nearly enough here. So it looks like Hoon's just going to play it safe, back up, keep the rifle in their hand. Not that they're, you know, worse for wear financially, but why not? Why spend the extra money if you don't have to? Looks like they're just trying to look for some exit frags there, and unfortunately, SwagCon does get the better of them, so that spike will explode just in time. Oh, SwagCon! That was, I mean, that was half an inch, I think, from SwagCon's nose. But they will stay alive, and they will get on the board for a second time here. The Bash Bros now have 3 more rounds to see if they can make it a 7-5 first half, which honestly, considering how this is going, it wouldn't be the worst. Like, that's honestly a pretty solid gain here. Look at these teddy bear bouncers on that door. I love that. Yeah, Team Artisan up by 5, but now they're starting to feel the heat a little bit.
Yeah, that's the round. It really does seem like the mid to B splits are what seems to be working for the side of Bash Bros, and they're seemingly wanting to try it again. The thing is, this time they actually get entryed on by Ica. Once again, another time. There's a res on the board as well. Demon with 2 in mid. That's absolutely insane. And now Grandson, he's been removed. He's the only one that's done anything for the attack so far. It's all at the chamber. Maybe he can take some caps off the heads of the members of Artisan that want to try and hunt him, because 7-2 up, there's no way they're just going to sit here. They're going to go for a kill.
Oh, Ica getting shot in the lower back there. Might need a chiropractic adjustment after that one. Zero Cap finds the kill. He's going to back off. It's a 3-on-1 situation. 67 HP. Not going to be able to do too much. Throwing some trademarks down just in case. But really wants to just hold on to this op. This is a crucial moment here. Bash Bros do not want to re-spend to get this rifle back. So Zero Cap trying to play this as safe as they possibly can. Trademark is detected, but it looks like they're not going to take the bait here. And really, Ica has been going crazy in these. How many first bloods? I have to say, and maybe like half a dozen at this point. I know at least 4 or 5 for Ica. So that just really sets the tone for these rounds so early. Taking these aggressive mid pushes and winning them almost every single time. And getting closer and closer, quicker and quicker to another res because of how many kills they're getting. Bash Bros losing, you know, a critical entry player
10 seconds
really
left.
right out of the gate. So Artisan is just setting the tone, setting the pace for this game so far, and they will take an 8th round on the board here to make it 8-2. Certainly feeling good going into, you know, the second half pretty soon here. Even if they drop the next few rounds, they will have a significant advantage going into the second half.
Yeah, even this round, it's still going to be rough for Bash Bros as well with that op save. Yeah, they have this operator, but they don't have money on this guy, so Zero Cap can't buy up one of his teammates. Zoyuki has enough money, but Shaka, she is only going to be left on a Spectre. You really got to hope that Zero Cap can actually make something of this op, because it's difficult even, because they're on attack. So they have to wait for Artisan to make a mistake. Demon still got the op of his own as well, and he did enough work with the blades last round to make something happen. But this time outside A, he's pushing up. He's pushing with the operator. Like, why? Like, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter because Artisan are 8 and 2, and Demon himself is doing just fine. But this is some placement because he's up aggressive. He's got Hoon watching top belt just in case anything might go wrong, but they're not gonna like do the updraft because that's too risky on Bash Bros. They're already down so many rounds, and that again that's a major risk. Demon is all the way up here. They see him. He's got no dash either. He used it before. That's one of the big differences with Jet now and Jet before is that you have to be ready for it. So technically he couldn't get out there if he missed a shot, but he doesn't need to go for one because you see the operator barrel and you're like, we're not gonna fight that. Grandson, good entry. Regulator goes down, and now there's a question for Artisan, because now where do they go? There's options now for Bash Bros. They get a pick on that B site. They send people over from Artisan. Excuse me, no, they don't even do that. They send people into mid. They send people quick response to either spike site. This is absolutely brilliant. They have 4 people ready to defend.
Yeah, what a great call here from Artisan. The read, getting themselves on site, but they have to be careful from zero cap. And Ica feels the pain, feels the pressure, falls back. So Yuki gets away with 20 HP. Still doesn't have that dash. It's going to be zero cap, which is really shutting down this re-entry here for Team Artisan. That's a 5-on-3 advantage. Their location has been outed. They do avoid that shock dart, but it's zero cap, who still has eyes on the spike. Hoon finds Grandson. Hoon's now going to peek on zero cap and pays the price. Now it's a 4-on-2 situation with that spike taken down. It's really a 5-on-1, really. Zero cap. Gonna get a big one, but it's Demon who responds with the op of their own, and now Demon looking for some more. At least keeping them close to the spike so everyone goes down. That's gonna be really big. I mean, Bash Boys is gonna have to rebuy here if they don't get out in time. And SwagCon is the only one who survives. So they're gonna, of course, have to all buy here, but the fact that they weren't able to hold on to those rifles is gonna make it not the best buy they would want. Shaka is not gonna be able to buy a rifle for this one, so Yuki does not have enough money to have full armor. Zero cap, neither do they. So that's actually pretty rough. They would have liked to have held on to that if they could. And even though they might be able to make this a 4-8 first half for them, Bash Bros certainly not getting out of there very cleanly. Team Artisan has to be at least happy with that.
It is going to be a very strange round, though, because like you mentioned, the buys are really weird. There's this SMG on both sides, an op on both sides, a judge in Viper's hands, which is I like the plan here. Go for the Viper's pit, so you have the shotgun. Everyone's gonna be 1 HP, so it's only gonna take 1 pump. But they have to walk into you first, and it's a question on whether Bash Bros are actually gonna do that. I feel like it'd be quite a miss from them, but you never know. Like some teams really like challenging Viper's pits for some reason, and it looks like they really at least want to try and find something here with a little creep around on top of pipe. So Yuki is not actually getting hit by the pit. But Regulator, there's no way he's actually going to step out of that. It's too much of a risk, especially with this judge. You have a plan, you go for it, you stick with it. If they don't push you, then so be it. This is what happens. But that dart isn't going to see anything either. That's kind of big. It misses 4 people here, and that is not only no info, that's also misinfo.
Wow. Dueling Viper's pits now. Regulator gets away with 1 HP. Oh, and peaks just the wrong time, so Yuki. I mean, certainly didn't have to do too much work there, but still gets that shot nonetheless. Gets a second one. 5-on-3 situation for Bash Bros. There goes the spike. And now it is they shuffle over from B site for Artisan. They already had their silver here, but now the KO and the Jet have to make their way over. Shaka backing up Grandson here. There comes another arrow real quick. And that's going to actually call out a couple members here. It's going to be difficult. Bash Bros have all the angles they can really need, and they have the Viper's pit down, but Hoon finds one with a fragment. Going for another one, gets 2, evens things up. 0, though, huge kill. But Demon gets up top! Goes X Games on him, and for 2, Hoon finds their 3rd, and they should have it just in time here. And it looks like they will. Team Artisan somehow stealing that round away from Bash Bros with Flare. And such a sick play there from Demon.
That is absolutely unreal. Like, the thing is about that round, right? With the buys that were happening, a Spectre, a Judge, and then you have an op on the other side of the map. you're basically playing like two different games there because like you're gambling on the fact that they're gonna run into the Viper and hope that they just get one tap by the judge because they're 1 HP. That just completely didn't work. Like it just completely failed. They just a Regulator just got owned through the smoke and it's just unlucky. But then, like I mentioned, they're playing two different games, right? Like half the team is literally going to like try and take a 3 versus X on B site, and then this Viper is going to take a 1vx on A. But like apparently the 3vx is fine because Demon just goes like absolutely sicko mode, and with the nastiest flick, like that is such an insane transfer. Like it might be 9-3, but he's Demon. Like he can dispel any curses. It doesn't even matter at this point.
Rhythm gonna use this Owl drone now. See what they can do to make some difference here. Not gonna really find anything back. So we're gonna have just a quick swap over to A site. I guess they're like, all right, well we didn't get any information, but screw it, we didn't see anybody. Let's just go over to A. And Bash Bros is only have 2 agents waiting for that though. It looks like they find enough time has passed with no one pushing B that they figure, all right, it's gonna be an A push, and it is. Shaka called out a little bit here. Oh, nice shot there. Headshots Demon. Putting some more shots down. Zuyuki though finds Aika. 5-on-3 situation. Shaka's gonna go even more and try to get some extra credit done. But it's Hoon who gets a kill first before Shaka swings again. Grandson goes down, but then Hoon follows them quickly to the grave. And now it's a 4-on-1 situation here with Rhythm by themselves. Really caught up here on mid with Zero Cap with the Headhunter towards their left. Rhythm certainly has an idea that someone's about to swing, and here it comes, but it's Zero Cap using that special pistol to its name. Bash Bros will get on the board first here for first half. Now it's just a 5-round lead here for Artisan, and we'll see how much more Bash Bros can do now that they have a slight advantage going into the second half.
The question is, are Artisan going to force? Seems to be a no. They're just hopping around, so fair enough. Give some respect to Bash Bros even after that round win. That's some good stuff. Shaka, she's holding down that A site so well, and everyone else around the corner. Zero Cap, we can't ignore him. This guy,
Nope.
he is very clearly fragging above and beyond not only his team but everyone else on the server. So he's he's trying his best to keep them as far into this as possible. Lots of gunfire towards mid in the slow, breaks the wall. Thing is, the defense no because how many pistol shots they did here. And Grandson, he has not been spotted yet. He can still play the cover top ramp. They should understand that there's a lot of people in this tube, right? So max like one player on either extremity. I'm surprised Bash Bros are not going for any heads-up play. And no flanks or anything. Again, respect from both teams to each other, so it's very nice to see. But now Artisan, I mean, they're just kind of stuck here for the time being. Grandson actually gives up Kitchen a little bit, just in case they run him down, so it's, again, fair enough. Don't want to take any more risks or give away a Spectre. Swagcon with that entry kill, and a lot of footsteps being heard coming back into the screen position, and they should have very little chance to actually make this plant. I mean, the plant's going to go down, but the hold's going to be difficult. This Demon has anything more to say about it, but we'll end up seeing. It's a 3-on-3 now with a bunch of pistols versus some SMGs, and Demon is doing a heck of a lot.
Oh, and now Rhythm looking to do some more and was waiting for someone to push up onto the second floor near a rope. It was Shaka, though, who gets there. And the Spectre diff. Massive. Swings down, almost had to take a second glance there to finally find Ica. Swagcon for 3, gets Demon at the tail end of that one. And Bash Bros, looks like they're just making sure someone gets the spike defuse, and they will. Here we go. That's another round for Bash Bros. They will take that round and stack it for 2. Now they're on their bonus, and I believe they had 3 members of that team remaining alive there, so not bad at all. Zuyuki gonna get a rifle in their hands. We're gonna have some full armors bought here. We're gonna have Swagcon still holding onto that Spectre and then some. Team Artisan now with just a lead of 4 rounds. We'll see if they can get something done here in the 3rd round of the second half, as they have bought out all rifles here to go into an aggressive stance. They want to make sure Bash Bros do not take this on their bonus round, and they don't want to make this a little closer than it has to be.
That's a very, very strong showing from the side of Artisan, and this is the crazy part for Bash Bros, right? Because that was a lot of damage. Demon, we saw how good he was in the last map, just with a pistol, but that's some crazy stuff. You can never count him out, and now very weak buy. There is the Headhunter on the back lines. Artisan are pretty much, yeah, they're not entirely trapped, mainly because Demon's here, but that is in mid. Swagcon, like you mentioned, he's gotten a kill here. And Ica, he's trying to work up, but he's got a shorty on the other side, but not enough damage. maybe pre-nerf, but Sayuki is a couple months or a couple years too late on that. So Aika trying to make her way up even more with the Sage. This is the core, yeah, just clearing everything by himself. Hoon has even got another kill. 21 HP though on Aika, so how much damage can Bash Bros continue to do? 1 on 4 for the Chamber that was caught on the flank at one point, but now deep in Defender spawn. Don't think he has too many chances to make anything else happen unless some member on Artisan wants to get a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, this is, I think, for zero cap.
Right here.
Maybe get one kill if you can. But they already, Artisan already knows where he's coming from. So they're ready to go the second he starts to swing out. Aika has shots. Ooh, falls back though. Realizes they had 20 HP. But good job to do that because they had heal a second later. Hoon will pick up the slack instead. Team Artisan now, first time on the board for the second half. And they picked the right time because Bash Bros was on their bonus. Now it's time for them to buy up. Have more of an even buy here. Actually, I mean, Bash Bros, even with that, they're looking worse for wear on money, right? Like they are, if they do not win this round, and there's a good chance that they don't, considering they have 2 players on half armor. No one's getting really close to ult here except SwagCon. Everyone else is 2 or more ult points away, so they'll have to get a lot of work done. Bash Bros, if they lose this round, they're going to be forced to save for the next one, and at that point, Team Artisan's knocking on the door taking this map.
There is a bit of grace for them because I mean most of Artisan actually do have Vandals, so maybe if the shots land, the armor won't be that big of a deal. But Zuyuki does start off pretty decently onto one of the members, maybe one of the best members on Artisan. Aika is no longer, so no potential res in this round, and again one of the fraggers now off the board. It is interestingly top heavy for them as well because they've got Demon doing work. Hoon a couple rounds ago, I mean, of course, he had the 3K to retake on that Viper's Pit. That was absolutely just miraculous, but he's also at 15. Ika's at 14, so it's not like any one player above and beyond. It's 3 players at the top of Artisan doing a lot of the work, 2 people just backing them up. So they lose 1, but it is going to be a very strong 4-man A hit right now. There's 3 defenders. But Zuyuki, he's got the entry. Can he do anything more from the back of the site? It's been awkward. Smokes fight, but yeah, it's the attacking jet is going to go down. And Spike does get planted, but Sova even takes a lot of damage. Dragulator chiming with 2 kills. Rhythm follows up on it, so now it's all evened up from a 5-on-2 to a 2-on-2. They're pushing along, but Dragulator's still doing so much. What is going on? The timing! The timing is what wins that round. Turns at the wrong time, and Grandson blindsides him.
Well, they heard you talking about Demon Hoon and Aika being on top, and then Dragulator and Rhythm were like, nah, we're going to catch up a little bit. And they pick up almost every kill of that round. But it is Grandson who comes out on top. As you said, the timing just a bit off. It is unfortunate. It is unlucky. Just the swing to the right a bit early. Otherwise, would have seen Grandson peeking at him from back sight. So now it's Team Artisan who finds themselves down 1-3 in this second half. Bash Bros in a good position here to try to, I mean, there's an opportunity for them to maybe try to stack up some money a little bit here, but they want to really start pounding in on Team Artisan and make sure that they win this next round. But it's still not entirely guaranteed. I mean, you have full armor, you have all rifles on the side of Team Artisan, and then Demon has that Blade Storm with just 1 kill. So if Demon finds 1, they're going to pop that Blade Storm or save for the next round. They only have a classic on them, so it seems like they are anticipating getting a Blade Storm here. And it looks like, indeed,
The orb.
Demon gets it. Yep, gets the orb, gets the Blade Storm, ready to go. It looks like they might use this as a way to entry onto B site and confirm this, but they are taking their time here. I think the rest of Artisan is also scouting out A site just to figure out where everybody is. But with that, here comes Demon running in quickly. Gets 1, gets 2. With 18 alive, oh, Grandson puts them down. Couldn't get the 3K, but still a ton of damage done here by Demon. 4-on-3 situation. Dragulator hanging in the back, playing anchor. Swagcon will get the res. No, 0 cap.
One enemy
Rhythm
remains.
just dances around those shots, and then Hoon gets 2. Regardless, Team Artisan up 3-1. Grandson by themselves, and does not know that Aika is coming from behind. Getting back on the board after being a bit quiet these past few rounds. That is 11-6 now, with Team Artisan 2 rounds away from picking this up. And it's almost a guarantee that they'll get to 12 as Bash Bros has to completely save here if they have any chance of having a full buy on the game point round.
Man, this is That's rough. Are they going to do it again? Are Artisan going to actually 13-6 every single one of their maps to get to the grand final? That would be a heck of a showing.
That would be
I'm not
art.
gonna lie. Bash Bros have reached the quota of rounds that Artisan's opponents have had so far. There is going to be a 24 pop from the defensive chamber. Very quick teleport. Here's a lot of noise towards that long B. And surprisingly, Shaka's actually staying here with this shorty, and she's gonna get absolutely deleted by Hoon. Nice try, valiant effort, but yeah, this is not gonna happen. Not against this kind of team. Artisan have looked so good. They are continuing to look absolutely beautiful coming into this one. And Bladestorm does do some work, but instantly shut down by Demon. Of course he hits the shot, even if it's 10 miles in the air. Spike down. 4-on-3 for Artisan just to hold this. And Zero Cap has his sniper trained on this long angle, but I don't think he's going to need to use it. Nah, the wall is going to go up. Grandson does get a pick with those shock darts, but all they've really got is the util in their back pockets, and the Sage Wall is not even going to go up.
Yeah, Swag Con gets
Last player
peeked on and
standing.
swung on as they have utility out. Demon for 3, looking for another one as Zero Cap. Demon makes it 4. And Artisan gets it done. They don't keep everyone alive there.
Match
So, I
point.
mean, that's maybe one takeaway for Bash Bros. They were able to pick up 2. But otherwise, it's not going to be really making much of a difference. Team Artisan has more than enough money here. I mean, you can even say what their buys, regulator, rhythm are at over 6K each in the bank. I mean, they can even afford to lose around here and there and still have money to burn. So, Bash Bros, this is it for them. Team Artisan overlooking, as we said, another 13-6, which would be wild if they're able to just do this. Like, they're comfortable with that scoreline. They like that scoreline. And it looks like they have a chance to get another one.
Nowhere to run!
Oh, hello. I was about to say blind ulti, but it did get a tag. No damage done though. They could have really used that to shut down Shaka out of this pit, but she's on the high ground right now. And in fact, it's Grandson to actually find a kill. That's very nice, but the res, this is gonna come out. And the pick from Regulator takes the Viper's pit out of commission on the defense. And now surely this is it. So Yuki tries to chime in, and the attacking Viper's pit is gone as well. But that is all of a sudden 4 frags, 3 and 4 from Grandson. That is unreal from this guy, sitting at the bottom of the entire scoreboard, brings himself up to not even not. I thought he was still on the bottom. No, he's at 12 now. What happened to this guy? He woke up in the last couple rounds.
It woke up at the right time here, too. That was a slaughterhouse that Team Artisan just walked right into. You saw, I mean, there was a ton of cover on the site, you know, the plant area itself, but back site was completely clear and open, full visibility, and Bash Bros are ready and waiting. They had the angle set, and Team Artisan maybe feeling a bit too confident
My
here
ult's
with
not ready.
knowing
Take
that they can
flight.
take this. All just kind of rush in and face check back site, and they do pay the iron price for that. So, Team Artisan, 12-7. Still, they're going to be on game point this entire time. They just need one to do it. Bash Bros have a lot of work to do and have their work cut out for them if they want to force OT, but now it's definitely doable. They've got themselves an opportunity. If they can take this round, Team Artisan might even have to start thinking about saving here. So we'll see if Bash Bros can start to put the pressure on Team Artisan, and it looks like they are going to be doing a 3-2 split. 3 members of their squad going towards A, and then 2 and the Spike over on B long. The Chamber's ready and waiting. Oh, but the timing there. The Chamber starts to check over on the other side of yellow just as they sneak by. No way. They have just moseyed on down without getting caught. It's like you're playing Metal Gear Solid, walking around the security guards. Oh, Rhythm gets Zoyuki. And then 2 fights Zero Cap, and then Demon walks in. Black Hunt didn't even anticipate it whatsoever.
Last player standing.
And Hoon finds another
Spike
one.
planted.
Team Artisan. Just like that. A massive advantage. Look, that was
Attackers
a
win.
sneaky little play. And Bash Bros find themselves on the other side of a 13-7. Woo!
I'm a bit of an anticlimactic ending, but I mean, fair enough. I don't even know how that happens. That's just you can't even. That's not even a skill diff. Like they just walked fast. Like that's. I think you provided the best analogy there, that Dak. It's like literally walking past NPCs. Like you know the patrol routes, and you wait for the timing, and you just go like, okay, 5 seconds, I can wait here, and then he's gonna walk around the corner, and I can go. Like it feels like they're in third person. That was such perfect timing, and it's insane. Like they turn back. They check perfectly into orange, look back towards kitchen, get the kill, and they understand there can't be only one player here. There's no way. Like no one defends B with 1 unless you're playing ranked and it's me, and I always get left alone versus 5. But like these guys are like they're a team they have their setups, so they're gonna be like, okay, one's probably still by yellow because we didn't check that, so they're aware of it. They turn back and they get the kill as well. That's absolutely ridiculous. And like, you can't fight against that. Like it's not even up to Bashford's playing bad there. Like they were waking up in the second half. They're putting up the rounds, and even like I mentioned, it took a hot second, but Grandson ended up waking up as well. He's at 12 and 16 to end at that map, which might not seem that good, but this guy had like single digit kills for like the majority of it, so it was unfortunate. But again, they were taking time to ramp up into this map of Icebox, and all of a sudden they just get absolutely like coin flipped. It's so unfortunate for them. So consolation to Bash Bros, they're playing excellently towards the end, and then Artisan. I mean, they with that lead, it's so difficult to come back from that. As soon as they get the match point, it's a matter of time until some random gamble play works. And sometimes walking into a site, checking nothing is, I guess they didn't check nothing, but you get the idea. They walked past the chamber at Long B. That like once upon a time, if you have 6 round buffer, that's gonna work one of the rounds.
Yeah, it was kind of like trying to do a break and entering, and you find the front door is unlocked. You just
Yeah.
walk right in the front door, and you're good to go. Like that was an unfortunate timing. Yeah, you're right. Like once you're kind of at that match point, eventually the odds are kind of stacked against you until a moment like that happens. Of course, definitely big shout outs to Ica, who especially that first half. I mean, crazy amount of first bloods was popping off. That really aggressive upper mid position was paying off for them. It's only a matter of time before things worked out for Team Artisan.
Yeah, for sure. But for the time being, I mean, we're going to see Artisan in the grand finals. I'm not entirely surprised. It's unfortunate that they didn't actually manage to get the 13-6 run all the way to grand finals.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's all good. They only lost 1 round in the midst of that, and it was up to Grandson making a huge play. So congrats on them to get the grand finals. But we're going to see them. I am going to try and get the information really quick on what team we're actually going to see in the grand finals that we're having them face off. If Battle 5 will refresh, we'll see.
Hmm.
It's going to be Artisan versus Syndicates. So Syndicates taking it over Swift as well off stream. So that's gonna be an exciting one. And not only that, that's gonna be our first best of 3 here. Not many times do we see best of 3s here at GLG, but this is the invite. This is where we have the utmost of competition between these teams. So it will be first to 2 rounds. So that's gonna be a hell of a matchup. So
Hmm.
we're gonna have room for both these teams to make mistakes. We're gonna have these room for both these teams to end up making reads on each other. So this is gonna be super curious.
Yeah, can't wait to see what goes down. Of course, now they're playing for a big portion of this big prize pool, the $150 prize pool, plus, first place getting those MSI Vigor GK50 keyboards. Second place getting 50, but you're getting $100 plus those 5 keyboards. That's pretty hype because we're here
Mhm.
at the Pit of Valor Invitational. Of course, we also want to be throwing some big shout outs to the recent GLG Lounge launch, which has been popping off. If you're in the Rochester area, definitely check that out. We got Val and Chill coming out, resuming in May. Soon, free entry, $50 for first place. We have a manager and coach only tournament happening very soon, so keep your tabs on GLG socials for that. If you want to check out the Twitter, you can definitely hit that up as well. Of course, you can also check out the GLG Discord at the exclamation Discord command in chat. So make sure you check that out. And you can also do the exclamation Twitter in chat to also find the GLG Twitter. And if you're trying to get a little fancy with it, you want to check out the lounge, you want to get that GLG Country Club membership access there. I mean, you're going to get crazy access to a bunch of stuff offered at the lounge. You get a priority entrance to events. It's only $10 a month. So if you're a gamer, that's all that for you. And of course, the GLG socks. I don't know if we have a graphic for that. I want those GLG socks. I'm definitely gonna see how I get my hands on them. If you want to get your feet in those, then why don't you find exclamation point socks in chat. Got them in purple, got them in white, got them in black. Socks at all sizes, so definitely check it out. And don't go anywhere, because on the other side of this break, we have our grand finals best of 3 here at the Pit of Valor Invitational. So we will see you on the other side of that break.
Makes it happen. There was so little time left. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but I mean, there might have been just a few seconds on the clock when the final frag came through. But man, this shot from the beam, I'm surprised that we didn't see anything. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, literally 2.5 seconds left. And Aura gets those frags. It was kill or side of MMG. My friend is. I'm no way. Aura makes it happen. There was so little time left. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but I mean, there might have been just a few seconds on the clock when the final frag came through. But man, this shot from Habib, I'm surprised that we didn't see anything. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, literally 2.5 seconds left, and Aura gets those frags. It was kill or nothing. Kill or lose the.
See here, head of the Jets out mid, trying to make their way through the market. They have an opening. Moeda split attention here. The sonar dart on the inside. Moeda's gonna get tagged, but nobody checks it. Moeda finds two. The gravity well holds him still. The third one. Oh no, Moeda would run away as well. It's three the other way from the Jet on the other side. Nobody can tame these duelists.
Tell you who can. Her name's Poster.
Throwing that down before the tick came through for the spike. It was weird timing at that, but I mean Aru it was able to get some damage through. But right now it's Aru against the world, able to get one here. If they are able to clutch this out, this is gonna be huge. Just have to wait and see ZK waiting around the corner on the shore. Trying! Oh, and that was looking really close for Aru. Aru might have just been able, but now we're gonna be 12 to 7 here. Matchup.
Spotted. Things can be here. Holding these shoulders to play hand in hand. Frosty just rotating with Zeke right now. It's a dance. Straight from the Rosie, and ZK's been leading the whole time.
They were doing a bit of a tango there. Oh my goodness. It was ultimately a dance of death, though, at least for the side of MMG. He's betrayed. Take the victory. And victory lap.
Aim practice at this point. Second, pinching through market. Curry is in trouble. Pan has realized they both off the site. CJB
Welcome back, everybody. It is time for our grand finals matchup here at the Pit of Valor Invitational. And I'm excited to get into this one because we have three solid maps between two teams that have earned their way all the way through this crazy competitive single elimination bracket. I'm still Dak, still alongside Anton, as we are going to bring you a matchup here between Team Artisan and Syndicate, where we just saw a 13-7 win by Team Artisan over a huge victory with the Bash Bros. So, Anton, how you feeling for this one? We know the maps, we know the teams, expectations. How you feeling?
I'm feeling. I mean, it's gotten quite heated up in here. I'm gonna be honest, but I mean, for the teams, it's probably gonna be getting quite cold because of the map that we just came off of. Like you mentioned, 13-7 for the side of Artisan versus their opponents. We're going into another Icebox. It's gonna happen again. We're gonna have the team that just won on Icebox play another Icebox against Syndicates, who have been they have played Icebox earlier in this tournament, but it was round one, which means like you remember this is the invite, so you can't really count any team out. But admittedly, yeah, round one it's going to be the easier games of the tournament. So they had a pretty breezy time. Like it wasn't even. Hernando was dropping like 21, and he only died 6 times. So yeah, everyone was doing just fine on their icebox. I think it was like a 13-2-3 or something like that. It was very one-sided. But yeah, so syndicates are not gonna have like too much. I don't think they're gonna be struggling per se, but at the same time, that performance was not probably indicative of them playing a team that might have been better. So we'll see. Artisan definitely having been challenged on that map a couple more times than Syndicates have been. Either that or Syndicates are just like above and beyond better, and we just have to see when we get in the server. But nevertheless, I mean, getting along with it, these teams have pretty similar playstyles on this map. They change one agent along them, and it's not like as drastic of a difference as last time where we had a chamber versus a KO. This time it's just the duelist versus the duelist. It's the chamber versus the jet. We have demon, as we saw last map, on the jet, an absolute demon. Like he lives up to his name. I don't even know why he's
Yep.
I don't know, maybe from a very young age when he was first making like a screen name for himself. He's like, I'm the best at all the video games, and he just goes in and he kills everyone. So he's like, I'll call myself a demon. All good. But it's gonna be him on the jet versus the chamber in Jeba's hands, who in the first matchup again he didn't really do that well, but that's because no one needed to, is because everyone was popping off. So that's gonna be curious to see. But obviously coming, like I mentioned, hot or cold off a win on the previous Icebox. Demon, this guy, I said before that he wasn't doing exceptionally well on the first time these guys played Icebox. Took him a haven to warm up, I guess. He needed to literally be in a less cold environment. But then this guy just comes in and somehow he spends 8 rounds of the game. Like round one to round eight, there's not a round where he doesn't get a kill. Like he's legit got a kill every single round for the first 8 rounds. Finally, round nine, he doesn't, and then he makes up for that with three or two double kills in the next 3 rounds. This guy is absolutely insane. I don't know why it took him a map to warm up. I don't know what he did in map number one of Icebox against the first team they faced off of, but that demon is long gone. He was 24 and 13 the last map. He was 24 and like I don't know 6 or 7 in the previous. But now, looking at the way he's playing, as well as the fact that Aika, yeah, he dropped 20 plus in the first Icebox they played, and Hoon even with his heads up plays, with that triple kill through the Viper fit, with absolutely everything that we saw, this is going to be scary for Syndicates. I don't care if they won 13-3 the first time; they're up against some real competition now.
And it looks like we are going to get into our best of three competition here as we have time to jump into our agent select between these two teams. We're going to be seeing that in just a moment. Yeah, Icebox certainly going. I mean, Icebox been out for about a year now, if not, I mean, maybe even longer, probably closer to a year and a half now. So it's great to see all these
Mhm.
teams, feeling so comfortable on this map. I'm really excited for Fracture personally. It's a guaranteed Fracture pick, and that's a map that has not become a comfort pick for a lot of these teams.
Mhm.
Icebox, though, player, even with, Chamber entering the fray, KO becoming a lot more of a common meta pick, teams have figured out their very comfortable lineups, agent wise and agent selections for Icebox. As you mentioned earlier, Sage is almost a given in a lot of these situations. Viper, of course, almost always picked, and then we see, Jet Chamber, we see Jet KO is pretty ways to round it out in the Sova as well. So we're already seeing almost a mirror matchup here. Both teams have a Sova, both teams have a KO, both teams have a Viper. But instead, we have the Chamber here for Syndicate. They have not locked in their fifth and final agent. Meanwhile, we do have Team Artisan going back to what I believe was their original lineup in the first place here. Everyone's still playing
Hmm.
the same agents that they already had. They have, the Sova as well. Of course, they have the Jet for Demon. So we'll see. No chamber for them. They don't need it. But will Syndicate go for the Jet? Will they bring out the Sage? And indeed they will. So I personally, I think considering you already have, your chamber and your KO, I guess you're not going to go with the Jet. But having the Sage has been so critical for all these teams in Icebox. It's almost a must pick. So no
Hmm.
surprise Syndicate's rounding out their lineup with the Sage.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too surprising to see like instant walls to handle pistol rounds and stuff like that. And of course, when you have the Sage, not only do you just have like an extra man to play with every like 7 or 8 rounds, but you also have the heals, you have the slows, so a lot of delay, a lot of like stopping power with the wall as well. So it's just everything is useful with this guy. It's just probably one of the best agents on Icebox right now, and it's crazy to see that it's like it's really map dependent too, because like you don't see Sage on every single map because she's not the best on every single map.
Right.
It's just Icebox is built in this sort of fashion where it really allows Sage to shine in multiple different scenarios. You can have her wall up tube if you're playing like really standard and regular, if you're playing ranked or something like that, or if you're a bit more advanced. Of course, you have you just don't use a wall until you go for a retake, like on pistol round. They're probably not going to see Ike a wall until they have to go for a retake. You could wall off like left side A or something like that when you're defending. You could wall off even the I almost said the Vision Strikers wall, but they haven't been Vision Strikers in like forever. But when you wall like back B to play in the little corner, I mean, if you guys watch some Korean games, you'll understand that one. But for the time being, will be the defense. Actually, Artisan's gonna get really aggressive real fast. It's 3 up mid right now with the Sage, so potential to rotate over to B again with that retake wall. But they actually go over. The Jet spots something, takes the dash out, and actually wants to re-aggress. This is so bold from Demon, but he looked so good in the last map. I don't even blame him for doing this. Probably at least good for one, but a bit of a sticky situation. Has to get out of dodge. At least does live out of it. That's a lot of information for at least Syndicates as well as Artisan to play with. They saw a lot of each other's members down that mid angle.
That Owl drone is going to help the Syndicates now find their way onto A site. They're going to push in. That fragment's going to clear out the back right corner just a little bit by Perseverance. Meanwhile, Poon going to take some first contact here with the Sage on the wall. Backs up, gets suppressed. Black Moose now waiting
Revealing
for an
area.
angle here, playing some geometry on the outside.
Scanning ahead.
Rhythm does so as well. There goes the Viper wall. And gets tagged as they pass through. Rhythm down to 47 HP. It doesn't matter though. Boon, Demon, and Deregulator both got on the board, but then it's swiped up immediately. Syndicate's firing back with gusto. Black Moose on the board with that classic. But they already got tagged as they were moving in through that Viper wall. Has to be careful! But using that rope to their advantage, a 3K from Black Moose gets that last headshot there on Deregulator. And Syndicates gets on the board first with that 1-0 lead in the first half.
Man, I really thought that was a straight up Artisan round at the point where Demon walks down mid. He's coming. It's made this joke like 15,000 times, but he's coming cold off the last map, and he just wants to fight. He just wants to take duels, and he goes for re-engage. Even uses the dash before re-engages into mid. That's just crazy to me. But that doesn't work out. All good. They still have the confidence to make plays, and then they get every single kill on the ace set retake. I'm like, okay, that's it. And then the right clicks come out from Hernando. I'm like, all right, I guess throw everything out the window because we forgot the classic still exists in the game. And he's going to be pushed up all top of belts. I don't know how much he actually is reading is Artisan's push, but he's got one. Poon with the quick trade, but he's the only person that's even remotely at that A site, so fair enough. There's not really any risk or dropping a spike or anything here. Jebba's going to drop back and try and watch for any flanks, but everyone else on his team is already on this B. They've got the plant there. And this should be, if anything, a 4-on-3 retake, unless Jebba gets a kill, which he's in a bit of a sticky situation again. It's a bit scary, and he's on a lot of angles to worry about, and he's actually going to go down. So yeah, it will be a 4-on-3 retake. But good God, they're so far away. There's going to be so much time burnt off the clock, and slows all the util from all these guys on Syndicates. I don't know if this is even going to be possible for Artisan.
Perseverance takes out Hoon,
One
gets
enemy
traded out by
remaining.
Rhythm, but it's Black Moose with another 3K in a row. Certainly this was facilitated by that Spectre, but they just come in and play cleanup duty there. And Aisle 5 is spotless now. It's a 2-0 victory here. Or lead, excuse me, for Syndicates. Look at that. Black Moose off of those 2 3Ks in a row. 6 and 2 goose eggs there for them. They're going to hold on to that Spectre for this bonus round, and honestly, going to be a pretty solid bonus round. I mean, they don't have a full buy here because Perseverance is at half armor, and of course, they only have 2 rifles. But this would certainly mean that Syndicates can get aggressive and try to mouse one and hold forward as much as they can and just play fast. But Hoon gets the best of Uncreated first. Perseverance will find Demon, though, is playing a bit aggressively there on A site, and now Perseverance is to go for that second floor push. It's up to see what they can do with this Owl drone here. Until the Hunter's Fury comes out, it will be Rhythm who finds Perseverance. Black Moose had 6 kills. They're obviously going to get that Hunter's Fury quickly, and they let it rip. Unfortunately for them, though, doesn't find anything. And now it's a 4-on-3 situation for Team Arson, who's been taking this very slowly, the best they can. It's going to be Jabo's in front swing, and Hoon gets the better of them. Fernando does the same, and Hoon gives them a taste of their own medicine. It's a 3K now. Black Moose for 1. Can we get a third 3K in a row? No. Hoon instead finds 4 of their own. And that'll be Team Artisan cutting down Syndicates on their bonus round to make it a 2-1.
Is very mechanically confident players from both these teams. We can even see that. It's round number 3, and everyone is peaking. Absolutely everyone is just going for engages, just going for fights. And Hoon, that round in particular was better than everyone else. He just landed headshot after headshot. He's 6-2 right now with the ultimate on the board, and this is he's looking good. Now he's done a lot for his team in that round, especially because Syndicates they went for at least a little bit of a buy. They reinforced their loadout in the previous round, so now it's going to be kind of rough. So the bonus was not entirely a bonus for them, so they ended up losing. Now they've got 2 rifles at least, but they have to at least win the gunfights with those specific players, unless they're going to play like Ring Around the Rosie with the guns. Who knows? And there already goes one. Demon's confident on the angle again. Didn't get anything done in the last round, has gotten the entry in this one, and perhaps it's maybe good for another one. He can't dash, so he has to get out. But Black Moose has got one of his teammates, Hoon, who's been so good this map so far. They are going to be able to compromise that A site, and the plant is going to get confirmed.
There you go, finally got on the board there. Uncreative also as well. Regulator takes out Black Moose. So it looks like Syndicate's going to have... Ooh, yeah, Perseverance finds Rhythm. Micah gets on the board for 2. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Sorry, Perseverance caught out by themselves and will get taken out by Ico, who finds their own 3K here. Team Artisan will get the spike diffused. Evens things up 2-2. And that should mean, if I'm not mistaken, that we're going to see a little bit more of a buy from the Team Artisan side here. So they're going to be topped off. There we go. Meanwhile, the Syndicates are going to be saving instead. They're going just for Sheriffs. They're going for Classics. Not even buying full armor in any means. Half armor for 3.5. 3 out of 5, that is. So yeah, this is Team Artisan, a round to lose for them. Like, this is their loss if somehow that makes it happen. Syndicates are gonna see what they can do here to try and do some economic damage to Team Artisan.
Oh, good mid fight. Oh, Ica. We've seen Ica go for multiple of these pushes, and we were both praising this guy for just taking initiative so many times inside that mid, and he was winning so many fights as well, but this time he actually loses it against a Sheriff. Demon wants to take his place as well. He's very confident. Even still, they're only 2-2, but I guess it is early days. He's got the Blade Storm out against a bunch of pistols again, so it's going to be hard for them to counter them unless they all team shot him. That's the problem, right? They got multiple different guns pointing here, and it might be difficult for one person to get a kill, but if everyone just body shots him, he actually just dies anyways. Spends a knife, burns out the TP from Jeba on the other side, but this guy still stays alive. So there's still a 5-on-5. They're looking into an empty site right now, but they don't exactly know that. Their only intel tool is going to be that Sova with the dart and the drone, which, as we all know, has been hit pretty hard this patch. The drone, dude, the length of it is actually just so crazy short right now, and all this stuff is gonna get thrown out. They're gonna know no one's on the site, but I mean, Syndicates also know where everyone is on excuse me, the Artisan know where anyone is on Syndicates, so Viper's Pit gonna be throwing down probably their biggest chance to actually win this round. And the Viper will be playing inside with the Sage. Uncreative is gonna get mollied out of position as well. That's a lot of damage. Up to Artisan to try and get back into this. No vision, but might have a read that one player is directly underneath him right now. I don't know if he's actually gonna get a kill here. And Demon with the blade starts it off, traded off once again. It's just back and forth. Every single player getting frags, but the Viper's Pit is still up.
That was a roller coaster of an engagement there. Fernando backed off there. 2-on-1 situation is Perseverance who gets suppressed. And Hernando, who's caught in this corner. Looks like this spike, there's not enough time here. You're not going to be able to defuse that. They're going to be able to get away. Mundo looking for exit.
Ooh.
Gets one. And make sure that the second one also goes down. Doesn't get the kill, but certainly happy with that. That'll be Syndicates, I believe. Now picking up their third round in a row. Not in a row, but their third round after dropping 2 in a row. A big win there for them. As they were looking, I mean, that gets them a full rifle buy and full armor. Like, that's certainly what they want. And now an opportunity to start to stack it up because Artisan's not going to go for a full buy on their end. And even if Artisan does win this, they've still somewhat bought out here. I mean, they have a half buy. They have a Guardian. They have a Judge. So firepower-wise, Artisan can't stack up to Syndicates, but they could cheese him a little bit. But this is scary because Artisan is now somewhat invested onto a half buy here, probably maybe more than they'd like to be. And if Syndicates can win this cleanly, that'll put them ahead significantly economically wise, and probably force Artisan to save in the next round, setting them up for a potential 3-round lead. So Syndicates certainly looking to come out on top very clean, and they do so with at least start things off. A kill from Uncreative and Jeba, as well as a very quick spike plant. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, goes down. I think it tags one, but doesn't get much more than that. Draculator now swings, and Uncreative gets the better of them, gets 3 in a row. It's Aiko, who definitely should have won that one, but instead goes for the res and gets caught out. A 4-piecer there for Uncreative, and that'll be a 4-2. That was an unfortunate res. And now a timeout going to be picked off here from Rhythm of Team Artisan as they drop another round.
Man, the heads-up play as well. That's even against the low buy. I guess they're reading the fact that it either has to be an anti-eco or the fact that Artisan are going to have a force, if anything. But the Viper's Pit goes up, and Artisan have done that before in the previous matchup. Maybe not against Syndicate specifically, but the fact that they have a Viper, and they probably can have a Judge in that Viper's Pit, so it's a standard thing to do. So fair enough. And they read that, and they're like, okay, let's just not go A. Let's just not have any risk of dying to a pellet shotgun at perhaps 12 meters. And they pull the smart thing. They put up a wall up because when you have a light buy or when you have a force, you can't really shoot that down. And they get the plants, and they just hold it really nicely. And they don't, admittedly, they don't even hold it. It's crazy to see. Even with that, they push and they take initiative once again. And Uncreative with that pop flash, I think it actually team flashed him, but it was fine because this guy's fast enough with his mechanics to be able to land the headshot as soon as he gets unblind. And like you mentioned, that's an unfortunate res from like it's like, what are you gonna do in an anti-eco? And I guess they had a feeling they could have possibly won the round. Like if they're close enough and they know the spike hasn't ticked down that far, they think they can just throw themselves at the enemy and win the gunfights. Then might as well try for it. But that it just doesn't work out. And now it's gonna be Artisan on a very, very big save. Now if Syndicates are that was a big boost to their economy. Demon trying to get aggressive in this round. Fair enough. Again, he doesn't have anything. So if he can get a pick here, it's gonna be very good for him, and he does so. No one else is here to trade, and he even dashes out, so they can't even kill him from top of bell because he's not even there. Another kill happening in the mid, and now this is a bit scary for Syndicates. Not entirely sure what has happened, but the wall and perhaps a res going out, but they're getting flanked. This is so awkward for them. Artisan making all the pushes and making everything happen right now. Now it's Uncreative in a 1-on-3.
Hoon catching Black Moose as they start to fall back. A big sharp kill there. This is going to be tough for Uncreative. They are really in a bad position here. I doubt they'll be able to get out of this alive. And indeed, it's Rhythm who catches them from behind, finds that kill. And Artisan gets back on the board. Teams trading here and there. We got 2, 2, 2, and now 1. Potentially Artisan to make it another 2-2 swap here. They're going to put that op in the hands of Demon. That's going to be scary to deal with here for Syndicates. But not entirely, because Jeba will have the Tour de Force ready to go. And look at all the ults for the Syndicate side here. 4 out of 5 ults. They're going to have the res. They're going to have the Hunter's Fury. Perseverance is going to have another life. They want to play their first one.
You want to
So
play?
this
Let's
is certainly
play.
the firepower is ready to go for Syndicates, even if Artisan might have a slight rifle advantage here with the op. As really at the end of the day, almost even here because 4 rifles plus the op here for Team Artisan. You have 4 rifles plus the tour de force. For syndicates, you almost really couldn't get any more evenly powered here for either team. But the money, of course, is looking
Here.
dire for both teams. Actually, Team Artisan looking all right money-wise, but you have like 0 credits for Hoon. So we'll see how this stacks up. Both teams want to come out of this pretty flawlessly if they can.
Tempted. Oh, wow. Okay, great shutdown. And the spike. Oh, my goodness. It doesn't even get planted. He's got it through the smoke. No vision. Literally, no, I don't think a single player has seen their enemy in this round. And Demon, that shutdown as well. That is... You couldn't write that round any better for Artisan, honestly. Like, not even a single player on Syndicate saw the player that was killing them. That's insane. Not often does that happen. Through a couple smokes, including the planner dies to smoke, and the guy opping, trying to get anyone that's coming through orange. Like, admittedly, he had not like a possibility of seeing his opponent, but he just wasn't in the scope. So that's just that's unlucky. I don't even know if you can say anything else. I guess you can like choose to get off the plant or something like that when you're getting spammed, but like, that's just the coin flip whether or not this guy gets you, and in that case they just lose the coin flip. That's an unlucky situation. There's nothing else to say about it. And Demon even, he's got the angle. He's not even gonna back off. He doesn't even use his dash because he doesn't think he needs it. But he does miss a shot though. Oh, it's getting a bit scary. But Uncreative, what? Okay, Uncreative still goes down, but Jebba's got a trade. And Hoon caught in that very forward angle. He actually does die. Rhythm with another pick on the defense though, and he's gonna get traded out as well. It's awkward on both halves of the map because there's attention being paid absolutely everywhere right now. But the attention is being even focused towards this B because a spike is trying to make its way over. Blackmoots with 1 kill with the shock dart and Ica with a quick trade. Perseverance finally does bleed out on the floor, but it's going to be a 1-on-2 on this site, and Ica just absolutely deletes both members that are coming in from that long.
Just steps out and takes some heads off. That was, I mean, honestly, these 2 rounds were massive for Team Artisan. Remember, the previous round, they won that flawlessly. And going into that round, they had 3 players who were above 3K credits. Now, after that win, following the flawless round, Team Artisan is stacked with cash. They have 2 members of their team over 6K credits. They have 3 more in 5, 4, and 3K credits respectively. And Syndicate now feeling the pressure. They're feeling the heat. As they have to save. They're going for an eco around here. They have some half armor, but they're just stuck to pistols. And Team Artisan would love to have another flawless round come out of this one. Of course, there are only a couple more rounds left in this half. But it's Demon who wants to start to take those last round. As Demon picks up that first kill on Uncreative with the op. Falls back just in time. Pop the Blade Storm. Gets out of there. Goes for more. But just whips right. And then right-clicking with the classic to finish things off. Dusty style, it's Hoon and Rhythm who get on the board to find those last kills. And Team Artisan picks up their 6th round. That's their 4th round in a row. 4 unanswered rounds here for Team Artisan. Syndicate's now starting to slip as they are worse for wear credits-wise. They have to buy here. And this is now a really sticky situation as they're full bought out on rifles and armor. If they lose this round, they're going to have nothing to play with in the last round of the half.
And I can't even... Demon's just showing off at this point. He's not even... I guess this is what happens when they play against a team that's like half decent, right? Because like Syndicate, I say half decent. Syndicates are good. You can tell they're good. But it doesn't... The Artisan don't care how good they are. They will go forward, and Demon is literally on top of pipes. He misses a shot. He uses the dash, and he still goes for more kills. It's just... You can't stop him. Does like literally no nerf, no. It doesn't like post nerf. It doesn't matter. Like he doesn't have a dash at all, so he can't even regain it. He just goes for it. Oh wow, that molly! It's so good. Everything on Artisan is working out right now, and even the op shot from Demon follows up on that one. They can't get the plant down. I don't know if he just doesn't. Yeah, he just wants to wait, but he goes for the res, loses his own life in the process. Black Moose answers right back, but again he's the only one to do anything so far for the team. Does remove the Demon from the back lines of Artisan, so that's perhaps one of the best kills they could possibly get. But Black Moose, right after that, he goes down himself. So it's still a 2-on-4. They can't get into B site.
Spike down.
That spike goes down. It's Jeba by themselves. They got res, and what can they do with this next life? All right, they find Ica, crouching for a kill there, but they're left with 20 HP. This is going to be an incredible task here for our last chamber player. They get swung on. And Hoon comes out easily on top in that engagement. They win that 2-0. They take that round to now make it a 7-4 scoreline here. potentially look on the onset of an 8-4. They have 5 unanswered rounds, so much money to play with. You're going to see Demon is likely going to be going. I mean, they could still. Demon can easily buy here and then also potentially get the Blade Storm. But look at this team.
Mhm.
Almost everyone positive on Team Artisan. Can't say the same for Syndicates. Only Black Moose holds that title so far. And like I was saying, because of those buys in the previous round, they have 3 members with half
Scanning
armor.
ahead.
They have a judge. This is not what Syndicates really wants coming into the last round of this half. And Jaba struggling a little bit here. They're 3-12 on this chamber. Team Artisan has been shutting them down time and time again. And now they're looking to make it 8-4 going into the second half.
Wow. I mean, you know the craziest part about this entire situation is that Syndicates have, on the day, they've lost a total of 10 rounds before this map. And now they're about to double that. Artisan are about to literally just straight up double it. Almost in the first half. Not quite. But this is absolutely insane. And that was a curious thing you mentioned as well in the pregame, or not in the pregame, but looking at the scoreboard, only one player in Syndicates is positive. Every other map they played, everyone has been positive. Absolutely everyone. There's no one that's even. Everyone was positive in kills. And now they've met their maker. Artisan have been holding down all these sites so well. And even on this A, Hoon does get the first pick. There is a double trade. One of them might be with the ultimate, though. So they still have to end up winning gunfights if they want to keep this, because Ica has been so much trouble on the top rope. Finally deleted by Black Moose as well. Regulator does come back in with a nice headshot. 30 HP left on himself, though, so this is going to be very difficult coming into this Viper's Pit. Left on just about nothing, but the distraction from Perseverance and Rhythm chimes in along as well. Stereo kills, and all of a sudden, it's turned around again. Artisan somehow pulled that off in a 2-on-3.
Switching sides.
Certainly helped that they had a little bit of an armor advantage here, but, I mean, you had, like, Perseverance getting caught out, their shoulder blades sticking through that Viper's Pit. Team Artisan with 6 unanswered rounds, and they are looking to close this out quickly here. I mean, we've seen this team. They've taken almost every map they played, 13-6, 13-7 on the last Icebox, and that could easily happen again here. Syndicates maybe gets the first couple rounds in this half, and then Team Artisan runs away with it. It's happened before, but look at these kills here. We have double digits for 4 out of the 5 members for Team Artisan. Only Black
Jeez.
Moose can say that for Syndicates. They are falling behind. Even though the score line, they're only down by 4 rounds. I mean, Team Artisan is really playing solidly here. And this is what you were talking about last map here, right? Like, on pistol rounds, that's Sage Wall. It's such a nuisance. you don't have the firepower to take it away, and all of a sudden, all right, I guess I'm not going down this route. I have to figure out something else. I have no choice. And Perseverance this time finds Demon real quick, gets that ghost kill with the headshot, and now holding another aggressive angle, looking for the next entry from Syndicate to pop up. It's Regulator on Team Artisan. I'm sorry, next entry from Team Artisan to push up. And it's Regulator who is indeed that player who finds Uncreative, but Perseverance will hold their ground and gets rid of Regulator with their second kill there. Jaba with a Headhunter finds one, but they're traded up by Rhythm. Hoon now rushing back in, and now it's a one-on-one with both of these 2 KOs finding each other. The overall 2-on-2 is about to happen at A side as we have the rotation. It's Perseverance who finds Rhythm first. They're on 3. Hoon gonna drop over with the ropes. Oh, and gets a nice Tom Cruise kill there. Going Mission Impossible on him from above. Hoon's gonna find that spike, has it. Now it's a one-on-one with this Viper by themselves. It's Hernando who's looking to get this angle first. There goes the knife, but no, Hernando has the advantage from downtown. He has that shotgun position, but gets done with the ghost. 70 HP in the bank, and Syndicates will take that first round here in the first half. Or second
Very
half.
good win. That's what they needed to come back into this. They have lost 6 in a row, man. 6 in a row. That's a lot. It's a lot to be able to for Artisan to just take over and over again. Syndicates with the pistol, they should be able to convert this, because I don't think Artisan is going to buy Perseverance. I mean, this guy, he was doing exactly what his name is meant to mean. Like on the A side, he's just persevering. He's getting every single kill. The only reason he goes down is because he's so low on HP on the rope, and the guy lands a body shot. Like, what are you gonna do? And now, ooh, no. Okay, Regulator missed that timing to get in that smoke by just a split second, and he gets punished for it.
Here.
That's another unlucky situation right there. He could have walked faster, but hindsight's 2020, and now they're gonna be driven off this mid by that drone. And even they don't know it, but even a push as well. KO's up there trying to get some angle, but they see no one, so they know that this A aggression has to come through. As that dart was pretty good, if I might say so myself. But how much can they get done? There's one kill from Uncreative. He is caught with a heal in his hand, so maybe a bit of a problem as Perseverance can't do the same that he did last round. And this is a bit of an issue as guns are recovered now. Might be low HP on the Sova, but Artisan have found themselves in a 2-on-2.
And look at this, running all the way out, and it looks like Syndicates are anticipating this just a little bit. They're not going to get aggressive all the way towards mid, but it's going to be telegraphed because that dart is certainly going to be heard. You can tell Syndicates are still hanging around, but they're likely just
30
going to have to play
seconds
for this
left.
retake. So we have Rhythm and Demon now finding their way onto A site. It looks like actually, no, they're going to get there just in time to hear that spike go down. Now the retake in play. Rhythm, though, Rhythm is at 22 HP, so they really have to be careful here. Kind of play off of Demon, who is going to have to be the entry with that full HP. And they're going to be able to move a little better with this Phantom. Rhythm has to get out, avoids the snake bite.
One enemy
Tapped.
remaining.
Oh, Demon
Player
catches
standing.
Hernando, but it's Jabo with the Headhunter, who's able to trade off of it. And then Rhythm swings out with 22 HP. Catches Jabo looking with a thrifty round win there. That is massive for Team Artisan. A solid win. They take the steam out of the engine here for Syndicates. Takes the wind out of the sails. They're looking to try to get 2 in a row here on the second half. No, sir, says Team Artisan. So they make it 9-5 now. And not only that, they're going to start stacking up with a bunch of rifles in their hands. They're going to have 4 out of 5. Rhythm with the Spectre. They're all full armor. They're all double digits in kills. Syndicates likely going to have to bite the bullet on this one and then hope for the best in the next round.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a rough one. I don't think that you can really sugarcoat it any. Well played by Artisan for taking that. Of course, playing the 2v2 perfectly. That's even getting the headshot in the second player before the Viper goes down on yellow is very, very nice. But that should have never been. Artisan, they took advantage of the situation. Syndicates gave a lot of 1 versus X's. They just pushed in alone with Spectres, and when you're up against 5 pistols, it can be difficult to choose your targets. And in that case, that is a round that goes Artisan's way. A lot of money in the back pocket, a lot of guns against a bunch of pistols. We're looking at a potential 10-5 here, unless these guys can work some magic again at the back of the site. But Uncreative only with a shotgun. It's probably not going to do very much. There's one in the smoke right now, so maybe something can happen. They go for a plant really fast, but Uncreative's already been removed from the round. And all the immediate defenders have no lines of sights. Maybe he wants to pop flash out. Perseverance out into heaven. But he gets deleted before that flash even pops. That's
30
just
seconds
crazy.
left.
Yeah, 2-on-4.
Spike planted.
Demon gonna swing out past this and hold an angle on the wall, and it pays off for him as Black Moose on the other side of those shots. 3K for Demon, and then Hoon steals the last one. It's another round here for Team Artisan, and that is all off of that previous round win. Syndicates really had nothing to do there with nothing bought. Now we're gonna see them getting rifles in their hands, getting full armor on their bodies. You're gonna have full rifles across the board. Hernando does not have enough to get that full armor. That is unfortunate. That might end up being a difference maker going into this next round. But we'll see. Really, what I'm looking for here, Demon obviously has the Blade Storm ready to go. And that's going to be
Double up draft.
immediately. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Actually, someone did peek right at the tail end there, but they were just falling to the ground past that horizon point. Now they're pushing up. Hoon being entry. Uncreative goes down, and Hoon takes down to 30 HP themselves. The Spike's been left behind, so Artisan's just playing for kills here. They're just looking to get a little bit of, picks here and there, strum their guitar a little bit, and then regain control of the Spike and figure out what they're going to do. But there's a lot of information being gained on A. You can see that you have Ica pushed up. And looking to see. There's a wall in the way, so they probably don't have too much information there, but they've already know that they can kind of walk in A a little bit. And they're making noise. You can see Syndicates is already rotating over towards A, expecting more of a push. But the spike's going towards B. It's just a Sage stepping and stopping. It's Perseverance who does finally find Aka to make it a 4-on-4, but they're not in position to take care of this spike plan. It's going to go down. We have the ult pop there by Hoon. They're going to pop in. And now here comes the rotation for Syndicates. Now they have an idea of what's going on. They're going to have a 2-2 split,
Spike
2
planted.
backside. Actually, no, they're going to go for the 3-1. 3 backside and then 1 going towards Tube. It's going to be Hoon doing that. Oh, sorry, Perseverance. And the spike going down. Team Artisan now falling back. They're going to play this and see who gets these first kills.
This Perseverance, I think, probably the most important player in this kind of situation. It is the other players to get kills, but Perseverance, the fact that he has this ultimate out right now means the Bladestorm can't actually be used. Demon has nothing to work with, and in turn, he actually goes down. And Regulator, the only person with any kind of response in terms of some firepower, he only gets a single one, and that's a beautiful retake. Good util usage by every single person, especially, again, Perseverance coming in with that null command. That is a bigger deal than it really seems, because like if Demon can go out and just start snowballing with that Bladestorm, there's problems for Syndicates. We know how good this guy is with those knives, but he gets denied that. There's just nothing else, and it's beautiful. They definitely needed that round. The fact that they've had such an awkward round loss differential in the second half after losing out that full thrifty, by the way, from Artisan, not the best showing from them, but now even after the round 1, it's still difficult because they've got a player with no gun. Yeah, fine, he's got a Tour de Force, but even still, it would be a wonder if Artisan actually gave up a kill to him. But we'll see. He's holding that belt angle for anyone that wants to challenge top in a rhythm. He says no. As soon as the drone sees him, he's like, nah, let's not do that. So smart from Artisan, be keeping some respect for Jave, even though he is technically he's bottom fragging pretty hard right now. It's 8 and 17, not doing the absolute best, but Artisan, again, keeping the fundamentals, and Demon very, very quick on this long B after putting a lot of tension towards A. There's a lot of rotates from Syndicates that have already happened, but they're finally ending up to come back, but it's just not soon enough to be able to stop any quick plants.
Comes the Hunter's Fury. Black Moose, not going to find much on that. I believe gets just a tag. And that's really all they can ask for. Spike goes down. Regulator tagged up a little bit as well. Jabo looking for someone to peek on the other side. And actually goes and gets aggressive. That was an odd push there. Not in any position to really take advantage of the Tour de Force while they're pushing so aggressively. And now it's a 2-on-3 situation here. Team Artisan on the back of Regulator here pushes up, but it's Rhythm instead with the Hunter's Fury finds one as Perseverance trades out Regulator. And that's going to start getting diffused. Rhythm might not be in a position to get there. They have to use the shock dart. Oh, Eagle! Rhythm! That is Honor's geometry right there. And Hernando no still has enough time! Oh, no. What a hero play there by Rhythm, but it is not enough. Hernando steals that round away from them, and Syndicates gets 2 in a row on the board here. 3-2 here in this second half, and 7-10 in the full game. What an immaculate shot, but it's just not enough.
Man, honestly, if the Syndicates lost that round, I would have cried for them because they put so much into it, and they did well as well. I mentioned before that they couldn't stop any kind of quick plan. They couldn't with the guns. They had to burn a Hunter's Fury for it, but it ends up getting the guy off the plan. That does delay a lot of time to let everyone else come back into the site, so that's a very good job. And even just that final little play with the wall, the Sage is wise enough to know that this guy's only got 1 Hunter's Fury shot left. He literally just cannot kill me off the spike unless he pushes. It's a great shock dart, but he's only got 1 in that instance, which is unfortunate. So, very nice heads-up play by the Viper just to stick that spike, and that is a very good round win by Syndicates. That's exactly what they needed. Now they come into this one, they have another strong defense with A site, 3 stacked here. No one flanking, they're once again keeping respect for Artisan themselves. But they've already got some creeps up, but uncreative. He's the one to go down first from this little lurk up A. Demon's got the high ground, looking on the right side as well, but no one else is there. It's pretty much everyone from the side of Artisan covering every single angle in this A site. So powerful. There's no way back into this unless some miraculous gunfight is won by a member of Syndicates, and this is not going to start just yet.
Okay, Spike tap a little bit there. Looks like they really get it. Oh no, Perseverance flash.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, so that was, we saw Honor's geometry earlier. That was was elementary. I don't think that was even close to geometry there. It's a flawless round. Not much more you can say about that one. Just goes down. Maybe not as smoothly as Syndicates would hope, but Artisans certainly liked it. They got it all down, and there comes the timeout here for Syndicates. They a bit of a sloppy round from them, a flawless for Artisan. They got to rethink things not only after the performance of that round, but now Artisan is within 2 rounds of taking this map, looking for another 13-7. They're over the 13-6s here, Anton. Now they're going to
Mhm.
13-7. That's the vibe now these days. That's what's cool with the kids. And we're gonna see. Oh, there's another bouncer bear over there. Love that. We'll
Now we see
see.
the
We'll
boats.
see how this goes.
Penguin. Penguin waddling over the finish line, just like the entirety of Artisan are looking to do.
Do
And
we
honestly, this is.
do we
Hmm?
know if Icebox is in Iceland? Do we know? I feel like that would make sense considering we've had Reykjavik as a major event location.
That's a good point. But isn't it like the meme that Iceland is actually quite green and Greenland is the place that's
Well,
frozen over?
that's true, but I just went to Iceland in February and it was icy. It was cold.
Yeah, that makes
It was
sense.
all snow. So you go at the right time of year, it lives up to its name.
Okay. Maybe. I actually don't know the lore of this map. Probably ask some of my friends. I know Skittle is one of my observer friends. She's big into lore. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, check some of the Twitter accounts like
These
Sinprey or
Among
whatever.
Us crew members standing over
What the heck?
here.
That's
Go
actually kind of
back.
creepy.
Yeah.
All good. All good. Little talking point there. Artisan. I mean, yeah, just so sussy, able to find all the little holes left in the defenses of their opponents. But this time it's a very big hole because there's 5 people in Syndicates, just pretty much looking towards mid. Both the sites, again, they're playing quick response, so they can go to either site, whichever site's being aggressed on, and it looks to be that B site for the time being. Very slow play from Artisan, which is surprising off that very convincing win. Now, maybe they read the fact that Syndicates are just trying for a gamble stack, which they technically are. Artisan are not looking into the gamble stack, but they've at least got good enough game sense to understand that's what's going on. So they will get a plant down. 5-on-5 for the retake. And there's a Sage Wall, there's a Res, and the Viper's Pit for the defense, and a kill for the Chambers. Now it's a bit doable. There's a trade back by Hoon, but remember this Headhunter still exists, and everyone else has still got Sheriffs, and they've got a gun recovered. Now it's a bit scary because they do have this Res. I feel like Uncreative should maybe toss the weapon over to someone else, but end up seeing what's going on here because there goes the Res, there goes the rifle as well. Aiko with that great little retake, and even the whole thing through the Sage Wall, and now it should be all over. 1-on-4. And Hoon's going to clean it up, and there might have been a chance for a second in that round, but Syndicates get completely shut down.
That was the Hoon and Ica show there. 2 of them combining for 5 kills. Look at that. They've both surpassed 20. As a result. So not too bad here for Team Artisan, who, of course, very, very happy with how this second half has gone. They have the round advantage, 4-3. They have the full scoreline advantage, 12-7. And they've got a bunch of money to work with, so they have some rounds to spare here. This is regular, very reminiscent of the last half. Syndicates again, not with a full buy. They only have 4 rifles. They have a Judge as their 5th. This is kind of a
Viper's
similar
Pit.
situation that they were going into last time. But yeah, we do have ults to spare here. Ica has their res,
Here.
which is something that Syndicates definitely has to keep in mind here. If they want to get rid of
Here.
they want to get rid of Ica quickly. That would be priority number 1 here for Syndicates. They want to keep themselves alive and avoid this 7-13 loss.
Here.
And they're playing very, very slow. They found a lot of space, Artisan, all the way up 2, but now they know. Now Syndicates understand what's, at least part of what's going on. I think KO probably hears a lot of action towards his mid as well. He's gonna have a knife in about 30 seconds. Damage done, perhaps? I think he ran past his bullets. He gets so close to getting kills there. And Black Moose, now he knows exactly where this Jet is, but this swing, I don't know if he's gonna read it. No, not even close. Demon gets that pick. At least Jeb is holding down that site just fine for the time being, but there's a res coming out from the defense as well. So that puts the man advantage in Owen's favor. It's 3-on-3. Health in favor of the defenders. And is he gonna get checked? Rhythm, yeah, she goes down. Ika's at 1 HP now. Uses heal on a teammate, and now in a 1-on-3, this is a big problem.
Oh, Ica is 20 seconds away from being able to
Here.
heal themselves.
Here.
If they can stay alive long enough. Oh, never mind. Never mind. And it looks like we won't be getting a 13-7 either. 13-8 is now cool. Team Artisan have an opportunity here. Of course, they're going to continue to have an opportunity to take this map. They still have an opportunity to continue to buy because they have a good amount of money to work with. Even off of that, they are back to full rifles with Demon going to have the Blade Storm ready to go. But otherwise, they're pretty low on ults here. I mean, if Rhythm gets enough ult charge to get the Hunter's Fury here, at that point, Team Artisan's probably already won the round. So
Mhm.
it's going to be Syndicates who's looking
Get
to
out of
try
my
to pick
way.
up,
Scanning
Black Moose,
ahead.
Perseverance, Jaba. They're 1-2 ult charges away, potentially, from getting something to work with. So they're looking to get those ult orbs. They're looking to try to get those picks and see if they can take things a bit slower here on defense. But Artisan likely not going to let them, especially off of this Demon Blade Storm here. They're going to push off and try to get aggressive towards A site. We'll see what the welcoming party has for them. Perseverance is over here, as is Uncreative, and takes out Demon quickly. That's huge. And now they're going to have to go with Ica, who's been this battle sage and does get that first entry kill. Uncreative for 2. Hoon finds another one on Hernando. Now it's a 3-on-3 situation. Hoon takes another one. And now it's all starting to fall apart here for Syndicates, but Uncreative's not done just yet. There's the 3K. Jaba's now behind them and is one away from a tour de force. That could be major if they're able to get one of these kills. Uncreative is far away from a res. We have to think Ica is as well. Ica
Last player standing.
and does find Uncreative. Jaba does not have enough time here to play around with their food. They gotta be, it's do or die here. Here
enemy
comes the
remaining.
swing, gets one. Regulator hits the floor. Will Ica get the best of them? No! And Jaba keeps Syndicates alive. They have more than enough time here to get this spike defused. And they indeed do. And that was just off those aggressive swings. Very well played by Jaba. And a player who has been quiet in this game now has now finally come in clutch when the moment arises to keep their team alive in this first map.
Man, what a move as well. The fact that he goes pushing rather than going for the spike is, you look at it in the moment and you're like, really? But in hindsight, it's absolutely perfect because I think Ica makes the same read as well because he ends up peeking into Jeba because Ica also understands what we all know. There's no time, right? Like you mentioned, Dak. There is no time to play with food. He has to just go for the fights or else he loses. So I think Ica makes the read that he must get that one kill, go back and tap the spike, and then he fights me. I think that's what he thought. And he's like, if I can catch him in that little backwards motion, maybe maybe I can just win the round right there and then. But instead, Jeba makes like
Standing
the
ahead.
double, like 4,000 IQ play and reads that Ica is going to do that and then just keeps going for the fight. And that's what lets him win. That is, whether that's calculated or not, it works. And that's what keeps Syndicates alive. Absolutely brilliant. So now, it's still a challenge. They're not home free by any stretch of the imagination. They're still against 5 rifles. And even with those losses that they sustain, Hernando doesn't have a rifle. He has an SMG. So it's still difficult. That's the crazy part. What a wonder they're able to keep themselves alive. And now it's an A aggression right now from Artisan, but the spike is not here. They're able to still run these defaults and have very strong fakes, and it looks like it's working because there's a lot of push-pull action with the spike already going down. Yeah, they've cleared out the close angles on B because of that noise being made towards A. And finally, these guys are going to come back, but how much can they really do? Because these guys have put themselves in pretty decent close plants, but Hernando does start it off with that lesser weapon I mentioned.
Perseverance. Oh, a very well-placed fragment. It completely flushes out both players over at yellow, so they can get cleaned up. That was really well placed. And then just an easy cleanup here for Syndicates. And look at that. They are not going down without a fight. This is massive. When it looked like things might be over for them, they pick up 3 rounds in a row unanswered, and now they're pushing things to a potential overtime. They can pick up these next 2 wins. And look at that. Team Artisan now looking to buy themselves up. But they are in a position here where if they don't win this round, they're going to have no money for the last one to deny Syndicate's overtime potential play. So this is do or die here really for both teams. Syndicates loses this, they're done. Team Artisan loses this, and we're likely going to overtime.
Revealing area.
That is an absolutely insane way to close out that last round too. Because like, you think in that very, very convincing plant that Artisan have just ended up winning, but then everyone forgets that syndicates have 3 different people that can use damage util. And they throw everything back yellow, and then it's over. That's just crazy. And they like you mentioned, this is do or die for Artisan. If not, it's not guaranteed OT because Artisan have one very low by anti-ecos, but definitely Syndicate's not likely to make that mistake twice, giving a bunch of 1vx's over, and yeah, they've already got an entry into this round. Rhythm is not going to be getting that beat anymore in this one. Demon does get one, but that was after Black Moose removes another one of his teammates, so they're going for another kind of mid-plant towards the boiler position where they hold it. And Ica, oh, it's a risky play. They do get the plant down, but it breaks the wall section, and what is happening here? Ica somehow stays alive, but not for very long. That is a very awkward fight, and a couple unfortunate circumstances later, and Syndicates do guarantee round number 11.
Oof, I'm smelling OT in the water here, my friend. This is potentially going the way of the OT. Because look at the money here for Team Artisan. It is not looking good. And yeah, we have a timeout even being burned here by Rhythm here of the Team Artisan side. So this is, I mean, let's talk about it, right? Like, Syndicate, they've brought it back 4 rounds in a row. They've done so with full buys. They've done it without full buys. Team Artisan, they only have 3 rifles here going into this. That said, though, the other players haven't bought. So actually, they will have not a full buy, but a pretty decent buy, because Rhythm and Demon will have rifles. Ica and Hoon should also be able to buy rifles and armor, and that's Regulator who has the Spectre. So that's still doable. Like that, you know, you got a lucky pick or a quick pick at the beginning, or you rush someone with that Spectre, like that could easily go your way. So Syndicates certainly still have their work cut out for them.
I think honestly, they're so blessed right now that they're able to actually get a bunch of rifles because, good God, the number of rounds they've lost in a row. The only reason they even have a chance is probably because the 4-round loss bonus that doesn't exist, by the way. Max is 3. But yeah, they have 5 grand.
Yeah.
Ica is going to, what did he invest in? He's gonna have, yeah, half armor. The wall is expensive. That's crazy. But Hoon's gonna have a rifle. Regulator, at least he is very close to a Viper's Pit, so maybe the run and gun Spectre can kind of work inside one of those, but that requires getting a spike down, which is gonna be the most difficult part for them, because Syndicates are very strong towards this B site. They've got one player in the pocket. I don't know if Uncreative actually wants to go for a push here, but there goes the wall. It will get just shredded. But there's a molly. Oh, that's a lot of information, because there's a knife thrown. There's like 3 people shooting that wall down. So now Syndicates understand that there at least were 3 people towards this long B. Now they have 2 people inside this mid, ready to rotate, and even some early info by Jebba as well, all the way at the front of that A site. That's crazy how forward he is. And even the Hunter's Fury. What in the world? That is perfect. That is so smart. Getting that intel, knowing they're going to be at this position at that very time as soon as he teleports out. They're just going to run up, and he hits the Hunter's Fury perfectly. There is a counter res, but that is a res that could have been used later in the round. That's already been burned so early on. They'll be playing this 5 versus 5 on the site.
Yeah, this is rough though for Syndicates. They've burned a lot of utility and ult just to stay alive. And now the spike's gone down, they don't have as much to work with for this retake. Demon though has been tagged up, low armor, low HP. Pushing up a little bit here. We have Jeba up on the second half. It's Uncreative though, who's going to be starting to push up and finds Aka. Black Moose and Perseverance also getting on the board. The shock dart from Hoon is crazy. And I think we're going to OT here. It's a 4-on-1 situation with Rhythm by themselves and just the Hunter's Fury. It looks like they're going to be able to stop the plant, or the defuse rather, but not for too long. Only one player is going to be taken out. The rest of the team has more than enough players alive to pick up the slack. And it looks like we are indeed going to OT. This best of 3 is going the distance already. Both of these teams swinging and will not go down without a fight. But look at that. Syndicates 5 rounds in a row in regulation, the back half of that second half, to keep themselves in this. I mean, Team Artisan was literally on map point for almost a quarter of the game. And still could not close it out, right? So that is pretty big. Syndicates have to feel good about that one and have a lot of momentum going into this overtime session.
Yeah, for sure. And that very convincing way to win that last round as well. They show the confidence that they have to just go for those retakes. because like yeah, they could have slowed down and played a bit more methodically, but they're like, no, let's just go, let's just win the fights. And one of the main reasons they won that round is because they had so much time left to get that defuse down. It doesn't even matter how many people died at the Hunter's Fury. Got 8 seconds. That's a testament to how fast they were going. And now they're on their attack. Oh, it's a lot of spots. Is that a KO knife? That was like a that's like pretty much all the information you ever need. They're sending everyone towards that 8. There's Viper that's ready for a quick rotate and watching for this mid lurk. And there isn't one, so he's going to be just fine. So they guaranteed a 5 versus 5 on this retake unless they kill half of the beforehand. Or Rhythm, he gets a bit too aggressive. And Jabba gets 2 as well. He finally gets shut down by Hoon. They know he's still back sight, but there's another kill from the planner. Spike gets dropped. But it's very swiftly a 1 versus 3, all for Dregulator to do. Don't think he's going to read Hernando's high ground position, and he's just going to get removed before he even gets to do anything on this Spike site. 30-second first attacking round for Syndicates in this OT, and they already put themselves on map point for the first time.
That was, I mean, a blink and you miss it kind of round right there. And Syndicates, I honestly, this is just wild to see there from them. 6 unanswered rounds. They did it so quickly that I don't even think Team Artisan really be able to glean much information off of that, except they might want to be careful coming into this next round here. Now that they're on attack, though, it looks like they're going to be going for a full stack. But instead, they're like throwing caution to the wind here, and they're going to try to just pour out some utility from Syndicates, which is something that Syndicates have been very willing to do, is just use their utility to keep Team Artisan at bay. But it's been working out for them because they haven't needed as much utility to do the retakes. They're just winning these gun duels. They're winning the aim battles. So now Team Artisan has to keep that in the back of their mind here, as they're going to do just that, bait out some utility from Syndicates, not commit either way. Now it looks like they're going to start to push up back towards B and also make sure that there's no one flanking them from mid or from tube.
Here.
Doesn't look like that's going to be happening, so they are going to potentially commit to this B site push, which for the most part is pretty open to them. Jaba, though, is
Here.
waiting in the pocket. Anyone breaches past that wall, they're going to go down. Viper is also ready to go. Jaba has that angle once they get it set up, but the wall goes back up, and they're not going to be able to peek really much beyond it. Dregulator, meanwhile, is still looking for a flank that has not yet come, but Perseverance might start swinging on him real quick. That's going to get deadly, but Dregulator comes out on top. That is massive. And now they have to be careful, because now they're going to get caught here on a flank of their own, going up mid-tube. Ica now also looking for more. Dregulator again gets rid of Black Moose and stayed alive with just barely a little bit of HP. Hernando trades out with Hoon and Rhythm. Uncreative going and finally takes out Dregulator's Reign of Terror for Jaba and Ica gonna trade. And that was a 2-on-1 situation. Team Artisan keeping themselves alive here unless somehow Uncreative wins this 1v2.
Needs to go so fast. I don't think there's a way.
Enemy remaining.
Wait a minute!
No
Hold on.
way.
Okay. No, it's no time. There's literally no time. Rhythm is free wall hacks. He goes for this shot, and around the corner, pre-fired. I mean, Uncreative landed some pretty nasty shots there, I gotta admit. And Rhythm, it doesn't even matter if he dies. He's just stat padding at that point. But dang, that's a way to win a round. Have your Viper on the flank, get all the kills. That's quite nice. Yeah, he's at the bottom of the scoreboard, but the kills that he's gotten have certainly made some impact happen. You see that every once in a while with some players, like whether they be playing Initiator or a controller. Sometimes they just don't chime in until they really need to be, and then as soon as they get kills, you're like, they're winning the round. That's kind of what Dregulator so far. It seems like he's been doing. Like the kills he gets are just so impactful. Goes
Here.
around the world practically and gets every single frag. So now 13-13.
Here.
Both teams seemingly have just as good of a foothold on their own favored sides as the other. It's not who makes the mistake first and who's able to capitalize on it, because that's some timing from Rhythm. That's unlucky that he didn't see a single person go up this tube, but now from 2 different angles. Demon though, oh, he's almost able to line up a couple, but Uncreative quick on the trade. That's very fortunate, because if not, that could have been a big disaster, because we're technically taking 1v1 in the tube. But that is a couple openings for Syndicates. They found the timings as well. And the second one, not sure what it was Rhythm was worried about there. Maybe he had some headphones in. Couldn't hear anything. Had his AirPods too deep in his ears, but almost the transfer. That would have been a very nice try, but that's a 1v4. That's a lot to ask.
Switching sides.
Certainly a lot to
Match
ask, but
point.
Syndicates now, once again, find themselves on the precipice of taking this map after a full domination from Team Artisan in the first half. Give 'em a taste of their own medicine. And we haven't really, we haven't seen Ica be able to dominate mid, or really go for it as much as we've expected. You're talking about players who have, been a little quiet earlier in the map and now stepping up. I mean, at this point, this is now not just a test of skill, but endurance on these long maps. And having players who still have the energy, have some reserves left in the tank, really does make the difference, even if they weren't popping off earlier in the map. As long as they get the W, it doesn't matter. So this is going to be really huge to see which teams still have it in them, to still have that juice to keep on pushing. And so far, it's Syndicates who's really been playing that game very well. They've come together when it means the most. And Jamin with that op is going to be someone you want to keep an eye on here. Certainly Ica wishes they had, because they're going to go down really quickly. Dregulator now throwing some utility back into that Viper's Pit. The spike has gone down with a 4-5 deficit, though. It's going to be a bit of an ask here to hold on to this. Who now going to push up? Looking to face check this. Throws out a flash. Goes in. Gets 2 flashes. No! Oh! Please get one of those kills. Who does? And then picks up a shorty or a some kind of shotgun there. Does not get a kill. Black Moose are on it. Oh, no. Just like that. Black Moose for 3. Jamin with the op kill, and they're going to use that Hunter's Fury at the end for that steez. And Syndicates wins it. A 15-13. They're up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Man, the way they win that as well, that is, yeah, God, Black Moose coming up big. That's insane. That's really nice. And to get that comeback all the way down from that like you mentioned, like a deficit of a quarter of an entire round, or a quarter of the map. That's absolutely insane. And you got to think in the last, if you want to just isolate that last round for a second, because the whole game went back and forth. So the only thing you can really say is that at that point, the middle game is, you don't want to call it irrelevant, but the fact that they went into OT, everyone's just on an even playing field. And the one little mistake, Hoon with that self flash, that's that's got to hit pretty hard, because he's been looking so
Yeah.
good. He is literally top frag almost on the server, not quite. He's one off Black Moose with that clutch in the last round, takes the top frag position. But without that, Hoon is 28-20, and he would have been the top frag on the scoreboard of the entire server, of anyone. But that little tiny mistake, and that's really what it takes, right? Because you have teams like this. Remember, everyone here again is a champion of GLG, Valor at some point in the history of a last couple of weeks. So, well, I say last couple of weeks, last multiple events. So
Yes.
it stretches back quite a while. But everyone here is good, so no team is a slouch at all. And when you have teams that are that good, the little nuances, the little tiny mistakes, or anything that you can capitalize off of the enemy team, you're going to use it, and you're going to take it by the throat and just run with it. And that's exactly what Black Moose did in the final round. That little tiny self flash, if that didn't happen, Sage probably dies instantly, gets the kill backside as well, because both people are blind. All 3 players backside are blind. It's just that one of those players happens to be the KO that threw the flash. That is unfortunate, but things happen like that. Like you mentioned, Dak, that's the endurance, right? If you start playing this many rounds in a row, that was a 28 round game. That's almost 2 entire games. That's 2 entire Valorant games. Took 55 minutes. So you get tired eventually, and that's one of the problems. So of lesser players, lesser teams. So once you get that playtime down, once you get that endurance, it's like you go running, right? You get cardio. Once you do it enough, you get the reps in, and you get better at it. So one day, hopefully, we'll get to see some of that. But it's unfortunate that kind of thing happened again. It's a game of inches, but crazy stuff. Hoon did so amazingly. Don't want to harp on him about that. Again, this guy's an absolutely nuts player. He would have been top frag if not for that one little mistake. So the entire team played absolutely exceptionally. 25 for Demon, 28 for Moon, even though he's underneath an ACS. So technically, Demon was having a couple more impactful rounds, given multi kills, given the fact that he was getting entries and stuff like that. 7 entries for him, 5 for Hoon. So again, this guy played phenomenally. But we'll hope that they can clean some stuff up, because both teams are honestly, the fact that they went in double OT, no team is devoid of mistakes, but at the same time, no team is like anti-flawless as well. So we're going to get to see a little bit of cleanup coming into map number 2, which, like you said, Dak, is going to be a guaranteed fracture. That's going to be a banger.
Can't wait to see it. Before we kick things off to a break, though, first off, I want to congratulate Fatal from Nori, who won that $25 Valorant point card as part of the 5 weeks of giving. So congrats to them. And everyone we still have a lot more on the line here because this is a best of three. The Pit of Valor Invitational is going to a map two. It's going to be Fracture, and it's coming your way on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Makes it happen. There was so little time left. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but I mean, there might have been just a few seconds on the clock when the final frag came through. But man, this shot, oh man, I'm surprised it didn't use it. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, literally 2.5 seconds left. And R gets those frags. It was kill or nothing. Kill or lose the.
As well as three the other way from the jet on the other side. Nobody can tame these duelists.
Tell you who can. Their name's Posters.
Throwing that down before the take came through for the spike. It was weird timing at that, but I mean Aru was able to get some damage through. But right now it's Aru against the world, able to get one here. If they are able to clutch this out, this is gonna be huge. Just have to wait and see. ZK waiting around the corner in the shore. Driving! Oh, and that was looking really close for Aru. Aru might have just been able, but now we're gonna be 12-7 matchup.
They were doing a bit of a tango there. Oh my goodness. It was ultimately a dance of death, though, at least for the side of MMG. The trade, take the victory, and victory lap.
Rocket crosshair and as aim practice at this point. Second, no. Benji to market. Curry is in trouble. And as realizes they both off the site. CJ for the one. Bladestorm. Juicy. Pandas for the one. Dismiss. Oh! Oh! Beautiful. Repeat. Greedy repeat, Garrett.
He does not, but honestly, I don't think it matters as they would probably like. God, never mind as a double collapse comes out. One up shot, beautifully played, as it is already a
Welcome back, gamers, to the Pit of Valor Invitational. I am Dak, still alongside my man Anton, as we are jumping into our second map of this best of three. It'll be Fracture after Syndicate taking a double OT victory over Team Artisan. After being down a significant amount of rounds, they won like 5 or 6 in a row, brought it to OT, and then won OT. So they are right now our epic gamers of the series at the moment, and they're looking to be the champions of this tournament. Grab that grand prize, grab those MSI keyboards, grab everything and then some, and run away with it. It's going to be certainly a series because we've gone to Icebox, a map at this point in the meta, at this point in the game's lifetime. Everyone's been comfortable with it. They know how to play it. Fracture is not one of those maps. It is certainly a dice roll for a lot of these teams. It's something that you normally see banned pretty quickly. And it's a map that, you might not entirely know what lineup you're going to run and which is going to be the best to run. So, with that all said, what are we expecting from Fracture? How do you think this is going to go?
Honestly, looking at these two teams' match histories, they've not played Fractured this tournament. Let's put that out
Okay.
there. So any Fracture these guys have played is going to be very old. And the only Fracture that I could find in their match histories, in fact, was won by Artisan
Mm-hmm.
on the 16th. So that was pretty much half a month ago. It was two weeks ago. So not the most relevant stats, especially as three of their members were different players. So yeah, this is a wild card, like I mentioned. It is just a complete. It is a toss up. So and I think it's anyone's game, honestly. Agent wise, I don't think we can guarantee anything other than probably a breach. I mean, breach pretty much has 100% pick rate in this map, like forever. If you don't bring one, you're either throwing or you just don't know enough because his ulti and the fact that he has stuns that go completely in one lane and the fact that half the map is lanes, like A main is a lane. Like Dish, technically not so much, but there's a very hard choke point there. B ramp is a lane. It's just one straight lane. So Breach, the ulti reaches the whole site. Everything about him is god tier. So you must have him either in Neon or Jet. Neon coming really into the meta as of late when teams watch teams like Optic play. They're like, okay, I can be Victor. Usually they can't, but sometimes it works out. So I respect the Neon picks every once in a while if teams think that they can make it work. So so be it. Just go for it because you can really throw the other team off guard. It's a complete different type of movement ability from other characters in the game. Jets, you have a dash that's usually pretty straight. Can go up, raise, same thing. You usually go up. Neon, the opposite. Instead of going up and fast, you go down and fast, which is something that most people aren't used to when they play Valorant. No one has a slide other than her, so that's the only movement ability in the game that literally moves your crosshair placement down, or at least you have to. If you can't, then you die. So that's a super interesting thing about Neon. So again, if teams want to bring that out, I'm all for it. I'm a really big fan of Neon on especially on maps like Fracture and Haven. So we are going to get into agent selection. We will be seeing what is going to be going on here. I'm definitely going to be looking at some players like I would say same stuff. So you have Ica on actually a duelist this time. This is gonna be quite interesting. We have a Raze already locked. In fact, all 10 players have locked in. That was super fast. Oh my goodness. Uncreative's got this chamber. You've got the chamber as well as on Demon's hands. So that's gonna be scary. We saw him absolutely dominate on the map of Haven before on the chamber. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna bring out now. But single duelist on the team of Artisan, and we're gonna have yet again a single duelist in the Raze on Jeba as well. So no neons, sad to say for me. But double Raze. That's a curious one because I don't think I'm gonna check the stats on this actually. I don't remember how prominently Raze is played on Fracture, but I don't think it's that. I mean, 63%. So I guess you could kind of say one of the top duelists, but it's not like, yeah, I respect it. If you're not going to bring in Neon, Raze is respectable, especially because, again, same deal with the Breach, like choke points. So just toss an 8. All good. Then you
Yeah.
have the movement ability, and it's just fine. So fair enough. Two raises. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here because we got a Brim against an Astra as well. That's going to be super cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of what works well for Breach works well for Raised, even like an Astra now, right? We're seeing Perseverance
Mhm.
on the Astra, so characters that can really take advantage of high choke point areas and either, hit you with some util and stun you, directly deal damage, or, pull you around as you move through an area they know you're going to be highly condensed at. These are all agents that are going to come out here, and as you said, picking a Breach, and rather not picking a Breach would be almost a throw. Well, both teams have one. Have the double raise. The Brimstone from Artisan, I think, is really interesting because that's also a character that can excel really well in these choke point areas. You throw down a stim beacon, you smoke things out, and you rush out onto the site, and you have smokes to throw down to cut off the opposing team's choke points, as we're seeing there. We'll see, though. Perseverance finds one. Ooh, Black Moose also did a good amount of damage there, but they're going to get caught out there by Demon instead, and now they're trading. It's a 3-on-2 situation. Syndicates are looking to take this first round. And they're going to do so most likely here. Unless Hoon! Oh. Almost had the hero pistol play, but only Hernando is going to get caught out by that one. Syndicates comes out with the 2 agents left alive. They'll take that first pistol round. And that was big. Again, we're talking about the smokes coming out from the Brimstone. They were able to avoid and push out through those. The Astra, a nice little play there. And then, of course, you're just straight up winning gun duels, which you got to do. You got to win those pistol wins. Got to get those pistol plays. And Syndicates indeed does so. So they're going to be able to afford themselves a little bit of a buy. They're going to get some SMGs in their hands. They're going to get a frenzy in on Creative's paws and push up forward.
Man, and honestly, whose name would be better to yell out in that clutch as well? Might not have gotten a kill, but it comes off hot off of Icebox with that final round. Goes into this one with a bunch of digs. Now he's got the Spectre. It's going to be Black Moose running straight in, and he's just going to be going for fights. One of his teammates does go down, but instantly traded right back up in heaven. All good. Plant for the ramp. And Black Moose is up kind of off of a bait angle, so if anyone on site gets spotted, he's going to be the one to take an engage. And there he goes. He just runs forward and raises life out of hands of Artisan. And he actually gets blindsided by Dragulator, but that's pretty much all he's going to have. As there's a very long angle being held, smokes down as well to prevent anyone from coming back in. Stun might actually hit his teammate, doesn't even matter. Demon's gonna go down off of that, and maybe a right click to the head. Does get one, does get a gun. Now it's a 1-on-2. Time is ticking very low. That's one of the biggest pressure points for Rhythm, and he doesn't get anything more. Syndicates do manage to convert. A lot of losses, a lot of kills happening on Artisan's side, but even still, 2 rounds in favor of Syndicates.
Yeah, and they'll carry that to their bonus round here for round 3. Just going back to that previous round, even though Team Arson didn't win it, I mean, you can tell how meta, or really why Chamber is such a meta character these days. Aside from the fact that, okay, very often going to have a weapon to play with regardless of how economy's going. When you lose that pistol round on the first round, you have the headhunter for your second round if you're, still forced to eco there, right? Because you lost the first one with the pistol. So, like, even though, like, they didn't win that round, they got that first kill, right? Demon was the first one to pick something up with the headhunter. Like, that could have really set the pace for it. So, always looking out to see how effective Chamber can be. That's one of those ways. Here comes the Viper's Pit. It pops out right there very early. Round 3. Uncreative. Gets one on Ica as they trade out, and then Dreba goes down to Demon, who had a little bit of help there from their friends. Hernando now pushes up here, and Hernando, off those 3 kills now with the Viper's Pit, is making it very, very difficult here for the rest of this squad. As Uncreative easily picks up 1, picks up 2, and makes it for 3 overall. It's going to be just this last Viper by themselves. Oh, and it almost seemed like they would have seen Rhythm pushing up on them, but maybe Hernando didn't have, maybe just weren't looking in the right way. Nonetheless, Perseverance takes out Rhythm, and then it'll be another win here for Syndicate, starting out strong, 3 in a row.
The bonus round conversion too. It's crazy to see so far on stream, especially the last couple of games. I mean, the bonus rounds just getting converted every single time. And Syndicates do it, and that's absolutely amazing because Hernando is able to get that Viper's Pit up by round 3. That's like unreal, and I think the only reason he's able to do that is one, he's a great player. Like he was 3-1 coming into that round, and he's getting orbs. The fact that there's 4 orbs on Fracture, by the way, if anyone's forgotten about that, there's an orb outside of every single extremity of the site. So Demon's gonna instantly rush for 1, wants that Tour de Force in hands, and he gets it. Now down so many rounds, and the fact that he's the only person really with any kind of weapon. There is a Marshall on Hoon's hands, but he hasn't been playing exceptionally well this game. Maybe taking a couple rounds to warm up. But this Tour de Force looking towards his B. He's actually looking in the right direction for just a split second, but sees nothing. There is no information around the map for Artisan so far, and that is a strength that Syndicate is playing around. And they've gotten the instant kill, and right onto the site they go.
Oh, Demon finds 3 targets, but can't get any of them. Sees them, but has to flee. Fernando gets a spike down, throwing out another snake bite there, and there's the toxic string gonna go down. Demon looking for some more. Regulator also has utility to spare. Artisan gonna be difficult there to push up in here. They have barely any angles to work with, and of course they really don't have much in the way of guns. In fact, they have none. It's only pistols. It's just Ica gonna be kind of caught out here by themselves, really unable to contribute. And the rest of their team's going to go down. They're forced out. And they are going to be pushed into a kill here by Jeba, who now helps Syndicates to get to a flawless victory here for their 4th round, which means Artisan being down by 4 rounds is really their first time going to be at full strength. We'll see how much they can get done. I'd have to imagine Ica is also going to buy. But yeah, Syndicates, now this is really where things are going to count here for Artisan. They lose this round, they could let Syndicates run away with this first half. They need to get something done here. And they do have the Breach ult. They do have Orbital Strike here from Regulator, so there's a chance they will be able to cover themselves in case the spike goes down. They'll be able to at least force out some corners, maybe get a kill and get that defused. But Syndicates also have 3 ults to work with.
3+1. There goes the Breach. And there's a wall from Perseverance very early, wanting to at least commit to that. I'm not sure if he's reading the fact that most players from the defense in this A site pushed up into A main, but there goes a rocket. Jeba lands not the rocket, but the nade actually gets the kill onto the player that took him out in the first place. And Ico with a counter, double headshot. This is locking down that A main. That is absolutely insane. Does get blindsided by Perseverance, but how much more can he do? Peeks out of the smoke just at the wrong angle, and Hoon, as well as Demon in that spawn, chiming in for stereo kills to shut down the rest of that attack. Good idea from Syndicates, but that's a very quick counter from Artisan, just the gunplay being well enough to win out round number 5.
That was another pretty quick round there, and Artisan probably feeling pretty good about that one, considering they had lost so many in a row and then finding themselves at full strength, able to take down Syndicates without losing too much. So Artisan going to use that as an investment to put an op in the hands of Uncreative. They have Perseverance and Black Moose who, oh, whoa, okay, he's peeking behind the curtain there. Aka is going to be moving up and,
Nope.
oh, Orbital
Wow.
Strike comes out. Wow, that is an incredibly early ult, and it actually did, I believe, tag up one player as they moved out, but otherwise, that was just, you know, kind of, I guess, I wouldn't even say jumping the gun because there were the entirety of the team sitting there, just they were able to react in time, but that could have been extremely devastating. Oh no! Demon will be able to get back thanks to that trademark, but they still get stunned off of that ult somehow. Black Moose finds who. Demon is way out of position here to really get anything done, just has to kind of blind fire through the curtain there. The toxic screen will come down otherwise.
Spike planted.
Now it's a 4-on-5 situation here for Team Artisan. After that spike goes down, it's going to be a little difficult. Here comes that big divide. And that's going to be huge here to try and cut off a lot of these angles. But now they're going to have to push out and make some use off of it. Regulator and Demon pop it off. Uncreative, though, two times with the Headhunter. And both heads found. Demon gets Uncreative. Now it's a 2-on-1 situation. Demon, though, has two individual 1-on-1s they can take here. So Hernando's caught in a corner, and now they're just wasting time. It's going to be huge if they can get this kill, and they do. And now they have a huge advantage here. But they have enough time to get the spike defuse. Pokes out, no, and whiffs. No way. Oh, and gets the kill. But Jaba burns enough time. And that is a heartbreaker for Team Artisan after Demon was putting up numbers. Syndicate finds that 6th round and makes it 5-1.
Man, he looked like he was building up momentum as well. Like, this guy was hitting the max combo, and he was at 102% accuracy or something like that. But unfortunately, the time limit just got him. That's so unfortunate because he was like swiveling to every single angle. He gets the kill onto Hernando. I'm like, okay, it was a bit scary. The fact that Jeba was pretty much 1 HP. I don't know how that right click didn't connect, but it didn't even matter at that point. The time was ticking so low. Very well done by Syndicates to be able to take that. But goodness gracious, that got so close. And now it's a sniper versus a sniper. Who's gonna win this? Demon's been on it so far, but no, he peeks into the angle, and Uncreative is ready for that all day.
Oh, whiffs those shots there. Wish they could have him back. J-Man Perseverance got on the board real quick, and just like that, Syndicates with a massive advantage in this round. You're gonna get that spike down without much issue whatsoever. And now it is the mid-rotation here, pushing in through to Alpha Sector.
Last player standing.
As Hoon gets caught out, so is Jaba. There's really not much you can do against the long range of that Vandal. Picks up that 3K as Jeba, I believe. And now it's a 6-1 here advantage for Syndicates as they pick up 2 in a row. They've got the rifles to work with, and Artisan really in a bad place here because they're going to essentially start cycling between these buy rounds and full save rounds. They use all, I mean, unless they get the win, of course. If they lose this round, they're going to have to save. They lose that, they're going to buy, and they'll have no money again that round as well. And they don't even have full armor going into this. Aka is only at half. So Syndicates has really pushed Artisan into a bad position in terms of their bank account. And now it looks like Syndicates is going to start to push forward here with that spike towards B side.
Triple push. Oh, how many people have blind? At least 2. That is a very nice double kill. And Demon and Ica, though, answer right back. So they keep the man advantage, actually. Pretty darn close, and Demon even re-aggresses on that, and Hoon behind him as well. Very quickly, 30 seconds in the round. Started out so well for Syndicates, but now the last player on their team is stuck on the site, Uncreative. Not gonna check the angle. Oh, he actually does. Actually gets the kill on Hoon, but a double peek is just perfect from Demon coming around the site, wrapping with his teammate, and he is able to pick up that round off of some early gunfights.
Syndicates decide to get aggressive there, not really playing the default, which might have benefited them in the long run, but Artisan will take that back to the bank and smiling along the way as they needed that crucial victory there that keeps them in the game, really. Not only literally on the scoreboard, but as I said, economically, now they can try to stretch their bones a little bit here and see what they can do. If they pick up another round, they'll be feeling a lot better. But Syndicates, of course, looking for Demon to pick up a kill with his tour de force. You have a bunch more to work with as well. And Hoon has the res. Hoon has been on the KO this entire tournament, I believe. if not, you know, the last couple of maps we've seen them. Now on the Sage, and it's 3-7. But hey, as long as you're doing your job utility wise, you're playing that support. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard looks like for you, as long as you get the dub. Narson certainly needs everyone to start stepping up here as they're down 4 rounds.
Big reset from Syndicates as well. They just take the orb again. Like they just farm the orb every single round. So confident for them, but I mean, fair enough if if Artisan are gonna let you, which so far, the one time they tried to deny that, they actually wasted the orbital strike. So that's
There.
they're gonna hesitate a lot on having some early aggression down that B again, probably, or excuse me, not that B, that A. Sorry. This map always just confuses me with the sites. Just switch the names already, right? Anyways, Uncreative with a good entry. Once again, it looks so good so far on this map. And once more, Black Moose. Oh my goodness, he almost takes a bullet to the face there, but that's another tour de force shot missed from the the chamber on the defense. That's happened a couple of times as well. There's been multiple opportunities that sniper has been in play, but Demon has just missed some crucial shots and finally does chime in with another kill, but he instantly gets traded. There's Jeba all the way at the back. Is able to cut off his teleport, but what does this happen? Wait a minute, back in the smoke. He doesn't know who's gonna get that kill. And Alice Plant has just enough time to go down, I think, unless he dies, but Hernando is gonna stay alive for just a split second. Doesn't even matter. He needs to pull out his gun, and who is just gonna run him down on that site? Artisan with their third.
That is so unfortunate. They got caught like on the lip of that edge there and were forced to like burn a couple jumps, and then literally had, I think, 0.2 seconds remaining to get that spike down. But meanwhile, there's a fight happening otherwise, and the rest of their teammates were not around to defend after that spike plant. So Team Artisan picks up yet another round here to stay alive, 2 in a row. And this is now certainly not a bad position to be in for them, as they're still kind of low on cash, but so is Syndicates. They can get a buy down, and they can force Syndicates into a bad financial position, but they have an opportunity to get 3 and even things up 6-6 going into the second half. So far, though, Demon has been really carrying here. I mean, 12-6 has almost as... Oh, is that a sniper sloth in the tree? I have never seen. That was a sniper sloth in the tree, folks. That is indeed crazy. We'll see if that kind of gives us a little bit of a foreshadowing for this next round here. We're looking for Demon to start popping off. There we go. Throwing down that massive volume. Going to be Black Moose pushing in. Perseverance has that has that judge. But not going to be finding anybody just yet. Spike goes down, and here comes the retake from Artisan. They're going to be coming from almost every angle here, and it looks like they might even try to get in towards the doors area. Hernando starts to get finds that telegraph, but it's Aiko who gets caught creative. Hernando has to back off. There's a 4-on-5 situation here for Syndicates, as they are now struggling to get any kind of angles here. The Viper's pit's in the way. Aiko for 2. Jeba finds one. Perseverance finally getting stuff done with the judge. And all of a sudden, Artisan lets it slip through. They lose all these fights, and Rhythm by themselves is getting 50-50'd. Jeba for 3, and Syndicates stops the momentum of our Team Artisan to take a 7-3 scoreline.
Man, what a tough... Poor guy. He has to turn literally 180 degrees every single other second. I don't know if I would have taken that fight, I would have just lost it because my sense is too low, but that's some crazy stuff. If they peaked a little bit more, maybe there's a chance there, but they're playing that perfectly. The flawless low crossfire, they both show their shoulder at a time, so he doesn't really have a chance unless he wants to reach out to clear the site. Didn't really need it because no one was on it, but just to confirm. And then this is super clean. Like that's everything that you really want on a site hold. And now Artisan are going to be on the back foot. They're trying for, again, the stack. They want to go for push. Fair enough. Has some help here. There is 1 kill, but he gets the spray down and the stun from the breach. That's why he's so strong. Can't really aggress on that any further. And he has to drop all the way back. Ica is at 26 health. That's a lot of hurt that's been put onto him, and it looks like they still want to commit towards this A. It doesn't even matter that he's here because he's so weak already. And 1 kill. Backs off, very nice quick swap to let him move a bit faster down. And he's a rocket, so he could be a bit scary here, but he's up against 4, and in fact, he doesn't even get to shoot it before he gets eliminated by Jeba. So now Rhythm needs to make some music happen. 3 kills on the platter. Needs a couple 8th notes on each head to be able to take any kill, because everyone's at pretty healthy points of life, other than Uncreative, but he's playing very passively, so I don't think he's going to go down first. Jeba, perhaps the first engagement. Everyone's playing off of
Oh.
him, and he does get a double sap, but that is the only one so far, and yeah, they just peek right off that first engage. 8-3 now. Syndicate's
round
looking
before the
dominating on
switch.
this map.
They really are. Now, thankfully for Team Artisan, they do have 3 ults ready to go here. Ica probably wishes they had that showstopper back. Didn't even get to let it loose before they peeked and got killed. But they have the res. They've got the Brimstone and the Breach ultimates ready to go. On the other side, though, Syndicates, they could also have 3 ults here. Jaba just gets a single ult orb or a kill. Oh no. Teddy Bear. 15 and 8, 12 and 5. You have an 11 and 6. Syndicate popping off here. And we'll see as that Tour de Force does come out. It's already going to be put into play here. Things are taking a bit slowly. Syndicates knows what's on the line here. And even though they have the advantage, they have the momentum, they have the spike, things are going their way. No reason to force. There's no reason to make something happen that doesn't need to happen. Let it come to you. It looks like indeed Syndicate's going to take their time here. So finally, the utility comes out. They're going to push out, but they're going right into the water with the Sharks. And everyone is
Spike
trading off
down
of each
A.
other here. Both raises indeed. Meanwhile, things have slowed down over towards A because that's really where the spike is going down. And indeed it does. Fernando gets massively stunned there, but no one pushes him, so they're certainly still safe. And this is going to be now a very close situation here. The res comes out on creative, gets Hoon and gets Rhythm. 1 and 2, just like that for a total 3K.
One enemy
Syndicates looking good with Gemma, a 3K of their own. 6 kills thanks to that res, split between the two of them. Syndicates will take this first
Switching
half,
sides.
9-3. And after that first map, which was Team Artisan's map for a majority of the time, and then Syndicates, even though they brought it back, they still had to get it done in overtime. Like, that, it still could have gone either way. This map, Fracture, is all Syndicates all day. It is the Syndicates show. 4 unanswered rounds, 2 in a row, 3 unanswered rounds in the first half. Our Team Artisan barely able to piece 3 rounds together. And now Syndicates looking to end this one quickly. Remember, they win this map. They win the best of 3. They win Grand Finals. They win the Pit of Valor Invitational. They show that they are the top Pit of Valor squad around here, and certainly Syndicates can smell that. Their mouths are watering just at the potential opportunity to get that chance. They're only a few rounds away from taking this whole thing.
Ooh, early kill from Jebba as well. Not a great way to start for Artisan. That's raise on raise, so no nades. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world if you're on attack, but you really do want that pushing power. You want that space-taking ability with the satchels, and this is not going to happen right now. He's got the breach at least, and technically the brim for corner clear, but the fact that they lose their only duelist is definitely not the best of stories, especially as he is one of the players that's doing the most on their team fragging wise. But we'll see what they can do. Demon's still here, so might still be okay. Is aware of the spawn position as well. They don't know that there's a shotgun up in heaven, so that could be a bit scary, but he's gonna work into this smoke. This could be a great heads-up play, but he needs to actually adjust. They've walked past each other. I don't think he knows. He's gonna turn back. Jebba is able to get another kill before he lands a shot, and that is a bit of a disaster. He's unsuccessfully baited the rest of his team. There was an idea there. He does get another kill, so maybe he's able to make up for that. But they're gonna vacate that A site and vacate that B site. I've done it again, but they decide to switch up on us again, nonetheless, and Demon does eventually go down. Now it's up to the Sage to try and make a play here. Full HP, able to be one-tapped by a Ghost if any defender on Syndicates has one, but is he able to make it onto the site with time to spare? Just a little bit. He gets that plant down, but still on a 1 versus 2.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Well, I don't know if we can write their little, like, you know on a gravestone where you have their last, like, a quote. Maybe Artisan just need.
Yeah.
It might be time because that is a. I honestly don't like. There's no. It's hard to find a solution, especially on this half, because if you guys don't know, in the audience, I almost said Breeze. Jeez, Fracture. The newest map. It's slightly defender-sided, just a little bit. I don't know if it's 9-3 defender-sided, but it's a little bit defender-sided. And considering Syndicates were able to win out the vast majority of the rounds in the attack, this is frightening. Artisan go for a force up, so maybe there's a chance if they actually end up winning this, because they know they don't really have a choice. They just have to go for whatever. Their retakes, which are the strongest part of the defense for whichever team is on the defense for Fracture, they just did not work out. Breach ultimate's not successful. Their orbital strikes just didn't work out. Now they actually do have an entry. I don't think Black Moose expected just Spectres on the other end of that push. So they're able to get onto the site, but Perseverance with a pistol takes one out, and it keeps it a 4 versus 4. Jebel comes in from the back lines, and now it's a bit of a disaster.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, it is falling apart here for Team Artisan. Oh, and Jebel gets it done. Steals that kill away from Uncreative. By the way, I believe those things on tombstones are called epitaphs.
Yes, that is.
By
word
the
they
way,
can
is
use.
also yeah. Well, trust me, I had to look it up. But also a fantastic Halo 3 map. Epitaph.
Yes.
One of my favorites. Look at that. Look at that scoreboard. Jaba is 24 and 9. Incredible.
heck?
Perseverance and Uncreative, 15 for both of them. Combined, they are stacking it up. Black Moose and Hernando are, I mean, at this point, they're just happy to be here along for the ride. They've gotten a lot. I mean, honestly, I mean, you can tell that like they're playing the utility game, right? Like their value is making, you know, setting up those kills. You know, that's stuff that the scoreboard doesn't show. So this has been a team effort for Syndicates. They don't want to go to this third map. And honestly, I think this is not too much of a surprise. Is Icebox, again, we're talking like Icebox is the map where both teams can sort of figure out what to do and play evenly. Fracture, very much a more volatile map. And if you really don't have it down, things can start to slip past you really quickly. And I think Syndicates has that edge, and they are really pushing it here with this 11-3 scoreline. They are winning a lot of these gun battles. They have utility to spare. Once the spike goes down, things have been working out really well for them. And they're just 2 rounds away from taking this whole tournament.
And what a fashion they do it in as well.
Right there.
This is last map might have been a contest, but this one not even close. 11-3. Likely gonna be 12-3 unless some ridiculous stuff happens from Artisan because they only have pistols. There's a pull that's about 8 seconds burned off the clock. They will have about 20 to get onto the site after that expires. There is an entry, but instant trade for Perseverance. Demon has to chime in for so many, and he's looked so good this entire tournament. And he's still alive, so at least some chance for Artisan to do even more in this round as 2 people from the defense are buying smokes, but Perseverance is going to be good for yet another. Staying alive up in heaven, Uncreative another as well. Rhythm now in a 1 versus 1, only with the Sheriff. He almost finishes that clutch, but Perseverance doesn't quite need to ace, but he's able to do, once again, living up to his name, persevering on this A sites, or B site. I can't believe I've done it for the 15th time in a row, but he did it on A site, Icebox. He's done it on B site. On Fracture, this guy, you can't dislodge him. And he was one of the names you mentioned as well. 19-6 on the Astra. I've said this back when the Astra meta was in play, like when every team played her, and she was like probably the best agent in the game, right beside Sova. But she's gotten hit pretty hard. And even back then, it's difficult to frag out on Astra. I've used this analogy 8 million times. You're basically playing an FPS and StarCraft at the same time.
Yeah.
And this guy's doing it post-nerf.
You want to
Second
play?
frag.
Let's
What
play.
in the world?
Oh, big stun.
Oh.
And Jaba gets caught out there by the boom bot. So that's like, all right, well, time to go. Let's play off that. And Team Artisan actually not fully aggressing, but they will start to dab a little bit over towards B site. We'll pick up this ult orb, which gives Rhythm their ult. Pretty nice pickup there. And you can see Syndicates. They're like, all right, well, we got picked off, and Artisan hasn't pushed B, so maybe they're going A. And they send 2 agents over there to try and check things out. But Artisan now going underground to either flank over towards A, most likely just to go for a full perimeter push onto B.
Here.
And then now that they have a full agent advantage there, they're going to do it. There we go. Ult popped. We're going to be pushing out here. Demon caught in within the Stardust. Black Moose and Hoon. Hoon for 2. That's massive. Now just 2 members left for Syndicate. Spike goes down, and those last 2 members are joining the party fashionably late. Demon just has to sneak out. Oh, and just cook some crispy like some kielbasa. And Creative goes down quick. And now just 1 player left. Hernando, can they do it? The hero play needs to get 3 kills in a row and defuse the spike. Starts to play aggressive, gets caught off by the molly. All right, you got to go elsewhere. Here's a detour. Hernell instead is actually going to wait it out a little bit here, but that means there's a lot of time being burned. Spike getting closer, closer. This uncomfortable. Hernell has to make a move here. It's using a lot of time. Moving up forward, pushes in, and it's Demon who gets the final kill. That is going to be it for that round. Artisan staying alive for just a moment.
What a hit by Artisan as well. That is some brilliant stuff that I don't think you see every single day. Maybe it's on me for not watching enough VODs, but the fact that Rhythm goes underneath, he's in underpass, and he ults B site from there. That is absolutely great. You don't ult it from ramp, you don't ult it from arcade. You have no idea where the breach is coming from. You basically hit everything all at once. So there's no like you can't like teleport past it or whatever if you're a chamber. But irrelevant as it is, they just get on and they get all the kills because everyone's stunned. Very very beautiful stuff. And love to see that from Artisan. They need to pull out some crazy stuff because that's they're like 8 rounds down even still after that very convincing win. And Syndicates have been winning so many in a row that they just really shouldn't have any issue buying. I'm surprised they're on actually a light buy right now. Jeb is just gonna try for something because they know they just have to make some magic happen, and it's just not going to. Hoon and that breach they're good enough on their gunplay just to win out these fights. They get their freebies, so nothing should really be a problem. I'm surprised they're not planting for ramp or something. They're just planting for the middle of nowhere. But I guess they know that their opponents are only on these pistols, and they shouldn't really be too difficult for round the win. They're just charging up whatever all points they can possibly get. And same thing for Syndicates, if they can get any kills. Very fortunate for them, but they just get absolutely deleted, and Artisan show us that they're here to fight. They're here to play.
Uh-oh. I know it's still a bit early to call anything, but when Artisan starts to get a bit of momentum, especially when they're down, just like Syndicates, they can start to crawl back. Saw Syndicates do it on Icebox, but, well, I mean, this is literally a mirror of the previous map, but flip. Right? Like Artisan was up 12-5. Syndicates comes cruising back and brings it to overtime. Now the tables have turned. Syndicates have that massive advantage. Now have an opportunity to be on game point for 7 rounds in a row. And Artisan just needs to do just that. Syndicates just needs 1 round here. This is where it all comes down, where the rubber meets the road. And with full armor, full armor and full rifles here for Team Artisan. The same cannot be said for Syndicates. They have that frenzy for uncreative. Of course, they're going to have the tour de force, so they want to get something done. But otherwise, it's full rifles and full armor. Actually, so this is actually just the tour de force. The difference in uncreative actually, I believe, did get flashed. It doesn't matter. Zeka runs right into their reticle there. That's gonna be big. It's a 5-on-4 situation until the res comes through from Hoon.
Demon's at 1 HP. I don't even know how he lives there. That is very lucky for him to get to get out alive. Maybe getting a heal from the Sage, but that is a very quick response. They know there's a very strong presence over on this site right now on the defense, but still Ike goes in, gets a kill, gets traded out once again, so double death this round. So lucky for him, but at least has made something happen. But that is all of a sudden it. There's no way Demon does this. 1 versus 4. He has to just try and go for a fight, and that is a very quick ending for Syndicates. What a way to close it out. A lockdown on that B site or Fracture, and they have that's it. That is literally the tournament. That's how they win it. The whole thing, everything leading up to this week, all those Pit of Valors, and as well as all the journey that these guys have had, Syndicates, they've had a breeze. Other than that one map of Icebox, they have had just a stroll in the park, going through all the teams, getting to grand finals, finally meeting their match in Artisan, having be up against match point, and still bringing it back and flawlessly sweeping the final 2 maps that they have to win out this entire event. They take the crown for this Pit of Valor Invitational, and what a way to do it as well.
What a way to do it indeed. I was like, all right, do we go to OT for a second map in a row? Syndicates? Absolutely not. I mean, the scoreboard, Jaba, 24-13 with an 81 econ rating. Crazy. Perseverance, 21-8. What a KD from them. I mean, both of those players are really popping off, and they're on the Raze and the Astra. 2 characters that are not meta dominant, but this is what I love about, the new maps that are getting introduced into the game. You do get to open up a lot of these other agent selections that might fall out of favor because of a patch or because other characters become a lot more meta. Astra is one of those characters, and Raze has always been, a here and there pick on these maps. Fracture now comes in. They just don't have to use her only on Bind. Fracture might be a place you can use her more. Astra finds a home, after kind of falling out of favor here. So a really solid play. Of course, then you have your two chambers right after that. No surprise there. Chamber, since they've been introduced, has been a power play kind of character that you want to have in your squad in almost every single scenario. Overall, though, fantastic play from both of these two teams. And of course, a huge, huge victory and win to our champions for taking it in two quick ones. Well, two ones. All right, two
Two-
maps. One not so quick, one so quick.
Yeah, that's 15-13. It was about to be quick in favor of
Yeah.
their opponents of Artisan, but they, good grief, Syndicates. It's really difficult to point out any one factor that stood out for them, right? Because their whole
Mhm.
team is just absolutely amazing. I guess you could really say that Jeba and Perseverance are killing everyone. But like you mentioned before, Black Moose as well as Hernando. Not only does Black Moose do his utility job very well, but when he needs to, when duty calls, he does exactly what he needs. Because remember,
Yep.
I just thinking back to round number 1 as well. 3 of his 8 assists came from that round. The things that you can see on the scoreboard because he dinks 3 people coming back into that A site as he's plants. Then everyone gets out and no one's actually looking at him, but he's peeking from the back of the site and dink, dink, dink. He doesn't get a single frag, like literally nothing, but he puts everyone down to 1 HP. That's the kind of help that you don't see,
Mhm.
unfortunately. That's what doesn't show up on the KD. It shows up in his A's, but that I mean, he's getting definitely A's in class after this victory because that's a very convincing 13-5. Strength of the Breach, strength of the Viper, strength of pretty much everyone in their team. And once again, unignorable is Perseverance on this Astra. I don't actually know if we have an MVP today. If we do, I hope we will get some information on that, or I will get. I'm probably the only one that doesn't know. But even still, this guy, Jesus, 21 and 8 on once again. I've mentioned 8 times already, but the Astra is not someone you see, like you mentioned, Dak. She's fallen out of meta, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on if you're a player or a watcher, I guess. But 3 entries, which like something that I don't know how this happens, but the most entries on any individual player on syndicates is actually 3, and Perseverance is tied with 2 other people for that top spot. Jebba has 3, top frag on the server. Perseverance is 3, second frag on the server, and second frag on his team as well. Then Uncreative is 3. And then Black Moose is following up 2. Like, almost everyone is doing their job in terms of entries in this map, which is ridiculous. It's not even like they're taking entries and not converting. No, they're converting on like almost every single one of these because they've lost 5 rounds. And the only times where they've actually their deficit in terms of entries to wins are like 2 negative because they've lost 5 rounds, and I think their opponents, if I do the math correctly, they have 7 entries in total. So it's actually up to Artisan not even converting because I remember as well one of the arcade aggression, they get 2 entry picks from Artisan, and then Demon as well as, or excuse me, I think is it, I don't even remember the names. I apologize for that, but they just get completely shut down. A 3 versus 5-1 even after a double entry. I don't even like that kind of thing is honestly, they do that a lot. That is what wins because when you can convert on the situations that you really shouldn't be doing, either like anti ecos when you're just on a full save, like how syndicates just win all the like conversions of the bonus rounds. It just doesn't matter what kind of buy they have. They just take it because they're just good enough as a team. They're able to find the scenarios where their weapon works well for them. They're using the util to put the opponents where they want them as well. That is what separates the good teams from the best teams. And obviously,
Mhm.
we're not seeing these guys in VCT today, unfortunately. But one day, when we're all working our way there, right? That's the thing. So syndicates, very well done to them. Congratulations for taking a very convincing 2-0. First map might have been a contest, but they showed their mettle on Fracture.
Absolutely did. And it made for an incredible map and made for an incredible series and an awesome tournament. So congratulations to Syndicates for their victory. Congrats to Team Artisan for making it this far. They certainly walked away with some money as well. First place at $100 and the 5 MSI Vigor GK50 keyboards going to the first place players. Of course, $50 for second place as well. We're going to give great quick shout outs here, of course. Make sure you check out that GLG lounge in the Rochester area. Make sure you get in there. And this was, a big, by the way, a big part of this, 5 weeks of giving with MSI. So thanks so much to MSI for being part of that. Thank you again for being part of this. And also for all of you out there, Pit of Valor on Wednesdays. If you want to be part of an awesome event like this, maybe get into the next invitational, check out Pit of Valor right here at GLG on Wednesdays. We have Val and Chill resuming in May, which I believe is on Saturdays, which will be hype. We have a manager and coach only tournament happening soon. And we have the GLG Discord and Twitter, which you can check out to stay up to date on all these upcoming events. That's exclamation point Discord and exclamation point Twitter in the chat. So make sure you check those out. If you're in the area, also get into that GLG Country Club. Gives you that early access and priority access to a bunch of stuff, select events, free entry to all GLG events with that membership. It's just $10 a month. I mean, you spend more on Valorant skins. You can do it. You can get in there. And if you need to stay, well, I guess if you want to stay warm these days, it's getting a little hot out. But if you want to be nice and swagged out, you want to have that sick look on your feet, get those GLG socks, exclamation point socks in chat. We got purple, we got white, we got black. It fits all your different fits, so make sure you get on those. And for us, for everyone in the back, we've had some awesome time here today. We had Fade, we had Strive in the back, running things, pushing buttons. Of course, Anton here. It's been a pleasure to cast with you as well today. It's been awesome. And for everyone here at GLG, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the Pit of Valor Invitational. We hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We hope to see you next time for some more awesome Valorant action. Have a great night.
Aurora makes it happen. There was so little time left. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but I mean, there might have been just a few seconds on the clock when the final frag came through. But man, this shot from Habib, I'm surprised that we didn't see anything. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, literally 2.5 seconds left.